Hey guys, how are we all doing? Who we got here? Hey Dick, hey Rowan, hey Arie. Probably saying that wrong. I still can't say it, can I? Then again, that might not have been too bad. Hey Silred, hey Chris, Cynically Foolish. Oh god, who's Cynically Foolish again? Cynically Foolish is... I can remember this. It will come to me in a moment. Hey Jay Stewart, hey Vac. Who else have we got? Hey Hand. Okay, that looks like everyone so far. Can everyone hear me okay? I'm trying to think who Cynically Foolish is, because I know it's one of the fairly active members of the Discord, but I have forgotten again. You just have to remind me. But yeah, before we start, we'll let a few more people join, and we'll make sure you can all hear me and everything. Hey Albert, hey Luca. K5GF, that's the one. Yes. I knew it was one of the fairly active members. I had forgotten. Right, but yeah, we'll just give it a few minutes. We'll just look over Leanna while we wait for a few more people before we look into a few more things. And of course, we'll start at the top and work our way down. But I'm going to try and look a little bit more in depth today. And we'll look into the family trees and look into those distant family members who may have been forgotten, like second cousins and distant cousins, that sort of thing. See what they're getting up to in the family branches. Hello as well to everyone else who's here. Jester, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm Norale. Am I saying that right? Probably not. FJ Gaming. Where is Jamie fucking Lannister? Hey Max, good to see ya. Right, so yeah, here we are. Queen Lyanna, the Kinslayer, as she is now called. Fairly unfairly. And I did just realise something quite interesting and funny. I just told the guys in the creation team. I only just realised this. But Lyanna's wife, King Ambrose, who's also a 7-star. He is of Lionel, if you remember Ambrose the First's brother Lionel. He's of his line. I just realised that him and his brother, Benjicott, are brothers with Harbert Redstone, which is interesting. So the Queen's brother is also her husband's bastard brother. Enga II really did mess up the whole family tree, didn't he? That's just so weird. And I also realised that Sir Benjicott is actually pretty decent. Very decent, actually, for an 18-year-old. So I did move him to our court so that we can do something with him. So when we come back down to Sevenport, we'll sort a marriage out for him, because he's very impressive, to be fair. 25 martial, very good for an 18-year-old. So we will start right in the north, now that we've been going a little while and you all seem to be able to hear me okay and everything. We've let people get a chance to join. We'll start right at the top with House Greystark. So let's have a look at those. Hey Rowan. So we've got Lord Owen, who is still alive at the age of 61. He's got a new bride by the looks of it, who... Lady Ciela Umber. Nice, interesting. She's malnourished. She's a giant, of course, because she's an Umber. He hasn't managed to have any children with her. I don't know how long they've been married. But Owen's still going well for a man of his age. What does he want to obtain? A greater throne. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, Enga II was just a hot mess. He's completely messed up the whole 7-star line. He's... regional tournament. Okay, so obviously he had his son, Sir Galbert, and his son Warwick as well. Galbert obviously died of cancer, the person who killed Enga II in that tourney accident. The beard's not going well, Max, of course, as always. I don't think you really need to ask. Warwick has had a daughter now, though. Sherisay Greystark, who's married a Summer Islander. Oh, it's Benjicott Rack. Interesting. Okay, well, that's interesting. So, Benjicott Rack, the youngest son of Joa Rack, I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Joa Rack. Yeah, he has married Sherisay Greystark, which is very interesting. And he's actually turned out pretty decent, actually, hasn't he? Honourable, cynical, arbitrary, slothful, charitable, brawny, skilled fighter, and strong. I did want to catch up on this guy anyway when we headed south to the Hornwood, but while we're here and he's betrothed to a Greystark, we may as well check him out. But that's interesting. That's very interesting. I did wonder what had become of him. And then obviously we had Sir Galbert, who died, which was really annoying because he was actually really decent. He had some great commanding skills. But his son is turning out pretty well. Maynard, who is 10, and he's quick. He's got a whale for some reason, which is interesting. So we've probably got a future admiral for Andalia. He's also got a wolf. He's timid, got green dreams, affectionate, trained fighter, a brown bear, mystic, and zealous. He did have a crow at one point, so I don't know what's happened to the crow. Maybe the bear ate it. Who knows? They're good, thanks, Max. They're both very well. Lila's been in a very good mood. There's no plans to take over Skagos at present. Who knows with a future monarch, but at the moment, We want peace and prosperity. We still want to take those Riverland lands. And I don't really know what Skagos has to offer to Andalia at the moment. Maybe if they become powerful at some point and maybe start raiding us, that would be a reason to attack them. But at present, I don't see the point in taking some frozen rocks up in the north of Westeros. So yeah, this guy is very good. I don't think he's not important, but I don't think we need to make him important anyway, because it will pass to him. He is the heir of Greyhold anyway. But wow, 24 learning, that's very impressive. So yeah, he's hopefully going to become a very decent character in the next stage of Andalia's history. Obviously, we've got a bit of a transition at the moment. We've been through a few transitions in this series where great characters turn old and die and new decent characters come through. So this is one of those to look forward to replace the likes of Cormor Bloom and Stefan Roseheart as they fade away and get replaced by these younger characters. I've got no idea how they get the Wales actually, and it is very, very interesting. I think we did have some vassals under the Greystarks, didn't we? We'll have a look at the Greystark family tree, though. I do want to look at all the family trees and see how they are holding up. Is there any distant Greystarks that we've missed out? I don't think so. The Greystarks have always had a lot of trouble since they've been in our series with reproducing. They seem to have a lot of trouble with stillborns and children dying. Brandon only had 2 children, Owen and Renessa. Owen had 5 children, but 4 of them are dead. So the Greystarks have had a hell of a lot of trouble. But Maynard looks interesting, and Shurasei looks interesting, if that's how you say it. So yeah, there's not much to really call home about House Greystark. There's 10 members in total and only 4 living. But I'm pretty sure that he has got some vassals under him. Of course, he now has more land. As you can see, we made it so the border looked a bit nicer, so that the Greyhold lands now come around here, just north of the Hornwood, and then the Hornwood lands obviously now have the bullseye to make that look a lot nicer. So they've got the Hornwood lands have a lot of nice port cities now, which is interesting. But we'll go back to Greystark. Some great characters lose their manhoods. Well, only if they misbehave, Max. Right, so let's have a look who he has under him. I'm pretty sure Master of East Harbour, it's a city. So Master of Barbleton, Olsen of Wolfsburg. So okay, so who has the castle under him now? Because I thought there was a castle under him, unless that's under the Crescent or the Oxters. Let's move on to House Crescent then, where we have Lady Mylane of Luna Woods, who's now 50, so she's very old. I know her daughter was very impressive. Let's have a look at the family tree and see how the Crescents are doing. There's 10 living members of House Crescent. That's not too bad. Okay, so one of them, Mylane's sister, married into House Oxter by the looks of it, and had a lot of Oxters, which is interesting. Leslin, now she is the really amazing Crescent with the amazing traits. We will look at her later, but she is the mother of Benfrey Lancer, who is basically Azor Ahai, or Jesus Christ. Okay, one of her daughters married into House Borrell. We've got Mathis Crescent, who's the Lord of Crab Shaw, and then Marwyn Crescent as well. And wow, look at that for a name. Athelmuir? Cool name. But what we're going to do is when Mylane dies and Mathis does inherit Luna Woods, I'll switch to him to then give Marwyn the Lordship of Crabshaw to split it up into 2 branches of House Crescent. So they've got a couple of kids, so we will look into them to see how good they are. But that's the family tree. We've got 10 living members out of a total of 12. So doesn't a lot of the Crescents drop dead much, which is interesting. That's good. The Crescents seem to be a very healthy family. So yeah, we've had a look at Mylane, who's nothing too special. Some decent intrigue, but nothing too special there. Lady Leslin, as we know, is very good. And wow, she's got a -100 opinion of Lyanna, which is interesting. Demands vengeance. Okay, maybe because we killed Leopold, but Leopold actually wasn't related to her, was he? It was her... Or is he related to her? Was he? Oh no, it's her dad, isn't it? Of course it is. Oops. Ah, yes, I see why she hates us then. But yeah, she's a genius with green dreams as well, which is interesting. I didn't know she had green dreams. I can't remember that. Mystic. So yeah, she's very interesting. That would have been interesting if Benfrey were to get green dreams. Let's have a look at the others then. We won't look at her children yet because they're Lancers, so we'll look at those when we get to the Lancers. But we'll look at Lionel Crescent, who's married to a Borrell, so we'll look at those when we get to those. We do have Mathis of Crabshaw, who's interesting with those dragon dreams. He's also fat like his father Leopold. He does have 3 sons. We've got Gilbert Crescent, who is, an imbecile. Well, that's a shame, isn't it? So the the eventual heir of House Crescent is an imbecile and also a lunatic. I do apologise, Chris, but it's got a little bit funner, sorry. Then we have Robin Crescent, who is a poor fighter, and he's also humble, so he's not too bad. So the Crescents might want to hope that Gilbert accidentally dies so that Robin Crescent inherits instead. And then they've got Sandor Crescent. Oh, such a shame that he died with an awesome name like that, but yeah, not much to call home about him. And then we have Malwyn Crescent, and he has a daughter named Hestella Crescent. Poor fighter, fussy, affectionate, willful, decent diplomacy. And then the guy with the epic name who's 4, and wow, he's pretty good actually for a 4-year-old. He's not bad at all. Not bad in the slightest. Right, let's have a look. Oh, sorry about that, Terry. I will let you know how the rest of the stream goes on in the Discord. Right, let's have a look. So that's mainly House Crescent. Is there anything that we could sort out for some of those kids? This is going to be the eventual Lord of Crabshaw, then, isn't it? So we could assign a guardian for him. What's he good in? He's good in stewardship and intrigue. Well, let's try and keep away from that intrigue. So let's assign him a guardian with decent stewardship, shall we? Who have we got? We've got Byram Firehand with his 20 stewardship and 20 martial. Wow, he's very interesting. Then we also have Manessa Rack, Cork Shooter with that 20 stewardship. She's really good. She does have cancer though, so she could die. So, oh, we've got Danes Corbry though. Let's go. Oh, we can't go for Danes Corbry. What about if we go for Byron Firehand instead then? No, we can't. Okay, so we can't do anything with the Crescents. Now, I'm pretty sure... Hey, Ogre, welcome to the stream. I'm pretty sure that the Crescents do have a vassal. Yes, the Dreadwolves. I'm going to say I'm sure they had one of those families under them, and they've got Mistress Arana of Eastmolt, who is of House Dreadwolf, and she is rude, zealous, brave, deceitful, and a lunatic. Okay, so she's pretty scary. She's just married to some randomer. She does have a daughter, though, Daisy Dreadwolf and Karina Dreadwolf. Does Daisy Dreadwolf have any children? No, and she's not married. She's sturdy, gregarious, charitable, and content. Okay, she's not too bad. She's got some decent traits. So let's move over to the Frosty Shore and House Oxter. Let's see how House Oxter are doing family-wise. They've got 10 total members, 9 living members, so they've only lost the founder of the house, and he was pretty old, wasn't he, if I remember right? Oh no, only 51, but I think he was a drunkard, so that could explain why he died quite young. So we've got Harston, Garibold, and Elseth. And they're all carrying on the line pretty successfully. Harston's had 2 sons. His daughter's had a son who's an Oxter, which is interesting, so she kept her family name. And Garibold's had a son named Jared. So there's plenty of Oxters around in that male line. We'll have a look through them. Lord Harstein, who's now 44, skilled fighter, pretty decent duelist. Very good learning, which is interesting. Apparently he's a Craven. Okay, so he's a Craven skilled fighting duelist, which is interesting. Who do we have underneath her? We have Lenora Oxter, who's married to Jared. Ah, okay, so she's married to her cousin. I believe that's her cousin, isn't it? And they've had a son named Alvin Oxter, who's okay. Nothing too special about him. Nothing to call home about. Let's work our way back up the family then, back to Harstein. Yep, he's got all of his children, siblings. We have Garibold Oxter, who is the treasurer of the Oxterlands. Ah, yes, and he's the father of Jared. Okay, so there's nothing more about him. Lady Elfseth, who's married to a marsh. Interesting, that's quite far away. Yeah, but there's not really much to call home about these. We've got Alvin Oxter. Is he anything interesting? No, so there's not loads going on with House Oxter. They are pretty secure, which is nice. It's always nice to see these families secure and not in risk of dying out. And they do have the hooks underneath them, if you can remember the hooks. And we have Mistress Marissa of Gancliffe. And she's married to some randomer. No children, so nothing too interesting about her. Pretty sure it was her brother, yes, Roland Hook, who was hung by Enger II because he was plotting to murder him. He's the one who kept trying to kill him. Yeah, everybody's literally married to all their cousins. No wonder we're getting so many imbecile and slow-traded people now popping up in Andalia, because everybody is just related to everybody in Andalia at the moment. Right, so, yeah, that's up in the north. So now we're on to the Dreadfort, where we have Lady Jessamine of the Dreadfort, who is attractive and willful. Nothing overly impressive of her. This is obviously the daughter of Lord Belvazar, who was sent to the wall, and the grandson of Lord Theon, the legendary Hammer of Eastwatch, who was also, of course, sent to the wall. So yeah, there's nothing really to write home about her. We could do with getting her a guardian, but I don't think the game will allow us to do it. We do have Wendell Stark. Well, he's slow though, so that might not be a good idea. What was she good in? She was decent in diplomacy. We need to keep an eye on her, and we also need to arrange a marriage for her to a loyalist family, maybe. We could go for Benfrey as her. Yeah, I don't think she's going to accept because she's old gods. But I know that her regent, Robin Bolton, is actually very, very impressive. Look, with her 20 diplomacy, 14 stewardship, 12 martial, 13... Yeah, she's very good all round. She does have the genius trait. Honourable, just, charitable, temperate, patient. Wow, she's like so not a Bolton. That's, yeah, she's not very Bolton at all. Ah, her mother is a Bloom. That could explain it. Who's she married to? And she's married to a Bloom as well. Often Bloom. Interesting. Who is zealous, which is interesting because he's married to an old god Bolton. Okay, so at least the Bolton line's in. We've got a decent heir if we need to get rid of the other Bolton. She's got the blonde hair of the Andals as well, I've just noticed. How is the Bolton line doing? Apparently there's 10 living members. So I weren't expecting that because obviously they've suffered a lot of murders and such lately. So who have we got alive still? Danella. Okay, and Vaon, he's alive. Sirona. Oh, Sirona Bloom, Vaon Bolton. Okay, so there are a few Boltons still around. They've married into the Jossos and the Rosehearts there. So there's Vaon Bolton, the Justifer of the Dreadfort, still around. This is a female line which goes into the Starks. Theon's children only... Okay, so Robin is of his blood. Ah, yes, it was Harwood who died, didn't he? Yes, he died from the flu. Okay, so Robin's his son, daughter. That makes sense, as he was a genius as well, I believe. And then obviously Belvazar. And it looks like we've got some very distant Bolton relations, but none of them are male Boltons. So the Bolton, oh, and there's some that go into the racks there, which is interesting. Ah, yes, it's Barbary Bolton, which was Lord Moribald's mother, wasn't it? Yes, I remember right. I remember now. Okay, so the Boltons, even though it says they've got the 10 living members, they are pretty much down to bare bones, as most of those are no longer Boltons, so that's interesting. But yeah, Robin Bolton's very interesting. How is old Belvazar getting on the wall, I wonder? Belvazar, the Brilliant, where is he? Heir to the Night's Watch, apparently. Did they just give that to all people at the wall, or is he actually got a chance of becoming Lord Commander? Because that would be interesting. But yeah, such wasted potential there. It's a shame that he had to go traitorous, but he is a Bolton, so what do we expect? I'm just going to make sure I've not missed any comments. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at multitasking with flicking back and forth. I can't help myself. We'll get to the Richards soon, Max. Don't worry. We'll work our way down to them. Yeah, the Iron Bomb is a massive problem for us and the Westerlands there. They're a bit more than an annoyance now, aren't they? They are actually getting quite a bit of strength. They look like they are going to take the neck as well. For some reason, we can't intervene in that war. I have no idea why. So it will be interesting. Thank you very much, David. That means a lot. I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. That's so cool that you're there. Chipped in at work. Yes, Han, that is true dedication. Yeah, awesome. Hopefully you enjoy the stream when you do check it out later. Yeah, and the Stormlands have also been pushing north. We'll have a quick look. As you can see, they did have the Grandlands, but the Grandlands are currently at war because I think they're helping the Dusklands. But this Grandlands area is actually owned by the Westerlands. So the Westerlands have split the Stormlands in half now. So there's a good chance that the Westerlands are going to take a lot of this Stormlands as well. But obviously we want to as well. We want to take this Blackwood land, we want to take Canet, and we want to take this Trident land here as well. So we are going to have to go to war with the Stormlands at some point. Back to the Boltons, though. I don't think they have any vassals under them. No, they have no... Oh, no. It would help if I actually went on the actual person. Do they have anyone under, though? I don't think they do. Oh, no. Donald Hammerhand. Yes, they have House Hammerhand under them. This guy is an incompetent steward. He's fat, craven, humble, and cynical, so nothing too impressive. Married to just a random woman. So that's the Dreadfort, which is now obviously under the control of the Greystarks. Then in High Point, we have House Breitmeier. I don't know how House Breitmeier are doing. We've not checked in on them in a while. Is it House Breitmeier? House Breitmeier? I like House Breitmeier. I think that sounds nicer, to be honest. So many of this family died, but apparently there is 11 living members, which is interesting. Let's have a look what we've got. Some are Salazars, some are, well, a lot of them are Salazars, some are Rosehearts. Okay, we've got a couple here who are actually Breitmeiers, Robin Breitmeier, Edmund, Bella. We've got the actual Lord Colmar, who has Lacey, Benjicott, and Tashara. Benjicott seems to be a name that's catching on a lot in Andalia at present. There's a hell of a lot of them around at the minute. So, Lord Colmar is a skilled steward, apparently. An aggressive, okay, so he's got commanding traits with a steward education. That seems a bit stupid and wasteful. He's a tyrant, apparently. Selfish, wrath, arbitrary, greedy, and gluttonous. So, nothing really to write home with about this guy. Lacey isn't impressive either. She's a twin. She had a twin sister who was stillborn, which is a shame. Benjicott, nothing really to write home with about Benjicott even. What about his sister Tashara? No, nothing really about her either. Well, that's a shame. So yeah, not a lot to write home with about the Breitmeiers or Breitmeiers at present. I think D and they are under the but they do have House Dory, who are still around underneath those, if you can remember them from a long, long time ago. I think it was, pretty sure it was Ambrose's reign that the founder of this house popped up. And Lady Shira Dory is actually pretty decent. A skilled fighter, brave, slothful, cynical, fashionable, but yeah, not too bad. She's got 2 daughters. Tiana, who has grayscale. Oh, God. Is that the first case of grayscale with? Oh, wow. And then her second child, who's 9, is... Oh, no, it was the other one. Who is 7. Poor fighter, but 6 martial. She's not too bad. Let's move on to the Wolf's Watch then, where we have House Salazar, one of the very, very old houses of Andalia. They've been around for a hell of a long time, right from the start of, pretty near to the start of Enger's reign, if I remember correctly. We will try and get brides as we go on. We will sort out guardianships and brides for potentially good characters. We won't bother with these that have got no potential to go anywhere, but the ones that we find that have got decent potential, we will see what we can do with them. This guy's got a bad opinion of us. Ah, yes, demands vengeance. Yeah, we killed... Would it have been his sister, maybe? Yes, it was his sister, Tanessa Salazar, who we beheaded in the last episode as she was guilty of murder. But Harrion of Wolf's Watch, nothing too impressive with this guy. Got a lot of daughters. But he does have Theobald Salazar, who is the heir to the Lord of Wolf's Watch. Decent learning. Nothing overly amazing about this guy. Who's his guardian? Arnold Fisher of the Grey Cliffs. I doubt we'll be able to do anything. Oh no, we can actually get you a guardian. Okay, so you're good at learning. So let's give you a guardianship with someone very good at learning. Benfrey Lancer, because he's just good at everything. Let's go with Danes Corbry, and we can't send you to Danes Corbry. Okay, well, let's go with... Who else do we have? Stefan Roseheart? No? Oh, Septon. There we go. We can send you to the Septon, who's got decent learning. Okay, if you won't let us do anything else. Does Wolfwatch have any vassals underneath them? Oliver, Sevenstar? Ah, yes, of course they do. They have Lister's son, Master Oliver of Etherington, who is a falconer. Interesting. Trained fighter. Very good diplomacy and martial, actually. He's pretty good, Master Oliver. Lister's young son, who's 40. Yeah, pretty decent. And he's also got 3 sons, so Lister's line's pretty decent. Probably better than the actual Blue Stars of Maidens Gate, as the Blue Stars of Maidens Gate are pretty bad now. They seem to have inherited the slow trait now. It seems to pass on every generation through the Blue Star line of Maidens Gate now, so that's not very good. But at least this Blue Star line is pretty decent. Maybe we should get rid of the other Blue Star line and put this one in place. And he's got something in his treasury. Interesting. What have we got? True History. Okay. But yeah, not too bad. Diplomacy and martial wise, I'd expect no less from the son of Sir Lister. Got a strong claim on the Lordship of Moonsgrey, apparently, as well. And a strong claim on the Lordship of Maidens Gate. Interesting. It'll be interesting if he presses them. Oh, and awesome. His son is called Sir Lister. Ah, I remember this guy now. Sir Lister Sevenstar. His grandson, who is a very, very good diplomat. Can we invite him to court? No, we can't. Well, do you know what? Because we can't actually invite people to court, I am going to put some things on. So, actually, shall I move him to our court? No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. He does have a son, though, Herbert Sevenstar, who's only 0 years old, so there's nothing really to write home about him yet. So that's all of the... Well, it's not even the Stranger's Hills anymore. That's all of the Greystark land sorted. So we'll move down into the Hornwood lands, into the Rack lands. So we'll have a little look what else we can do with these. The Hornwoods, the Racks of the Hornwoods, very powerful, as they have been from very early in the series. Finally got a decent lord as well, as we've had some... Well, Estienne was a great lord, but the person before Moribald, Joa, was a little bit disappointing in the Rack line. He wasn't as good as some of the other Racks, but Moribald more than made up for that. He's been very decent so far in his life, 37 now, so that's gone by quick. I can't believe how old he's getting already. But Lord Moribald the Fearless, obviously we know most of his traits, but we'll look at his son, who I really like, Sir Joa Rack, who is obviously one of the Queen's Guard for Queen Leanna, who we did marry off to a fire hand in the last episode, so hopefully they have plenty of children. He wants to have a son, which is good. Good. Carry on that Rack line. Dutiful Commander, Quick, Skilled Fighter, Knight, Humble, Wrath, Just, Content, Kind, Honourable, Diligent and Trusted. Perfect traits. Absolutely beautiful traits to see for one of your vassals. That he should be a very good vassal to have Sevenstar in the future. Let's have a look at the Rack family tree then. See how many Racks we've got living. There's 24 members in total, 13 still alive. So we've got Moribald's Rack. He's obviously got Mega Rack as well. What a name. That is such an awesome name. And that's also one of Lyanna's friends. Nice. We've got Vayon Rack, who I believe is also in court, and he's got a 100% opinion of Leanna. I think everyone has a great opinion of Leanna. I think everyone absolutely loves her. And then we've got Eleanor Rack as well, who's only 4 years old, so that's Moribald's recent child. Who else is still alive? Got Lady Gianna Rack, who is married to a Rook by the looks of it. And yeah, then he had his 3 maiden children when Joa, for some real strange reason, I've got no idea why Joa did it, married into the maiden family. And then obviously he's got his Summer Islander son, Benjicott Rack, who we did look at a moment ago. Joa is the new cult. Yeah, that's not a bad point actually. He is very similar to Colmore Bloom. That's what I mean. Like when we say this transition, you lose some great characters, and it's a shame. But then you get great characters like Joa Rack come through, who more than make up for them. Samwell Rack, yes, that was King Enger's close friend who died. His son, Lord Horace of Newkeep, is still alive. But we'll look at those Racks when we get down to those Racks. And then we've got Manessa Rack, who... Okay, who did she marry then? Oh yeah, she's our court tutor, of course. She's been around for a hell of a long time. And wow, Geoffrey Rack is still alive. 66, wow. I didn't expect... I know that Kellis died in the Great Sickness a long time ago. And he did have a son, Adrian, who also died in the Plague. Okay, so Sabifa was Sir Davos of the Cape of Evil's mother. That just shows how far back we're going now, because he died in the last episode of Old Age. And then, yes, of course, we have Donna Say the Fat, who was the mother of Lord Colmore the Brave, who was 63, who is also dead. That is crazy. But, wow, I can't believe that Geoffrey's still alive. I'm going to have a look at him. I can't believe he's still alive. And he's still a Septon, which is fun. Oh, he's got cancer. That is typical, isn't it? We get all excited, like, oh my god, I can't believe Geoffrey Rack is still alive. And then we click on him and he's got cancer, so he's probably not going to be alive for much longer. That's a real shame. My god, look at that piety that he's built up. 1,544 piety. That is insane. As well as all of that prestige. He's got a lot of gold as well sitting there in his bank. And wow, he turned out really good. Never married, which is a shame. But, well, he's a Septon, isn't he? That's a shame. Skilled Commander, Inspiring Leader, Strong, Skilled Fighter, Scarred, Duelist. He was a really good character. Stubborn. I can't believe he's still alive. Brave, Temperate, and Humble. 22 Martial. Wicked. That is awesome that he's still alive. But let's go back to... He was actually the son of Rogar. It's crazy that he's still alive. Let's go back to the Rack Zone and have a look at some of the others. So we've got Mega Rack with the awesome porn star name, who's a gruff diplomat, poor fighter, brawny, craven, content, selfish, and temperate. So not overly impressive, but the good thing about her, she's obviously going to make a very good bride for someone to try and forge some alliances. Do you know what? She could be a very good bride, actually, for the person that we've just moved to our court. That would be a very good bride, actually. So let's arrange a marriage between Mega Rack and Benjicott Sevenstar, the brother to the king. That's a good match, I think. And they're of age with each other. They're both in court. She's the queen's friend as well. Perfect. That's a perfect. So now the queen's... Well, would you call it a sister-in-law? I'm not sure if it would be a sister-in-law, what the term would actually be. But that's a decent marriage between them. I think that's a good marriage. I do want to try and make use of Benjicott in the future, as we know he's pretty decent, as I pointed out earlier on. But let's go back to Mega Rack. We've got Vaon Rack, who is 15. For some reason, he doesn't have a focus. He did have a focus before. What should we go with? I don't really want to give you intrigue, but you're not amazing martial-wise either. Then again, you're brave and you've got some fighting skill, so martial probably wouldn't be too bad. Your guardian's Lord Stefan, so I don't know why your education's changed, but you're not overly bad. And a good thing as well about you, we can find a good marriage for you as well. Do we have anyone in our courts that we could maybe marry you to? We'll have a look. No, there's no women. What about a betrothal? No, not really. Only the young princesses. I don't know if I want to look through this because there's going to be God knows what will show up if we go on here. Let's have a look at rank. There is a... Well, no, she's only one. There is a Rosbear, but the Lady of Drake Castle. Okay, that could be a decent match for you. A Rosby girl. Who else do we have? Someone from... No, it's too far south. I want to try and keep it within our realm if we can. A Targaryen, no way. We do have a Templeton. Oh, she's only 0 years old. A Florent, too far south. There's not really anyone too good at the moment. This is the annoying thing, because all that's been born lately is females. Yet, whenever you're looking for a marriage, you can't find a Coldwater. That's a good marriage for you. Yeah, a Coldwater of the Vale. Yeah, not a bad marriage at all. We'll go with that. And then we've got the youngest, Eleanor Rack, who's only 4 years old. Is there anyone we could arrange a betrothal to you? I don't think there's really any young people around at the minute. Damien Shy. Then again, I think there's probably some bad blood between the Racks and Shy Crosses. That's probably not a good idea. We'll give that... I think we'll skip over that. But let's have a look at you. You've got decent intrigue. Let's assign you a guardian with some decent intrigue then. Who have we got in our court with decent intrigue? Of course, Enga Firehand. Let's send you to Enga Firehand, who's leading an army down south. Make sure I've not missed any comments. I do apologise. I get carried away looking at what I'm doing on the screen and get mixed up. Let's go back to the Racks. I think we've looked at all of the immediate family, haven't we? We've looked already at Benjicott Rack. There's the Maidens, but we'll look at those when we get to the Maidens. We have Lady Jenna of Mistlewood. Oh, yes, who is married to Lord Belgrave Pegleg, which is an awesome name. So, yeah, that's the Racks. I don't think they have any immediate vassals directly under them in the Hornwood. Not that I can remember anyway. No, it doesn't look like it, other than Geoffrey Rack, who is the Septon. So we'll move on to the Bullseye, where we have House Hooton. And Lord Jonas Hooton is still kicking at the age of 58. Doing very well. Wow, he's lost a lot of children. His 4 oldest children died. And then he's got Walton Hooton. Lady Lenara of Crabshaw. Okay, interesting. So she's married to the Crescent Lord. Lady Alisane of High Point, married to the Breitmeier, so we've already looked at her. And Lady Lyra of Silvery. Okay, so he's gained some pretty decent alliances by the looks of it. He's in hiding for whatever reason. Let's have a look at House Hooton. 15 total members, and they've got 10 living members. Okay, yeah, the Crescents, some Breitmeirs, and some Fens. So that's about it. Yeah, if there is a console command that I can do that, that's not a bad idea. I should probably add a blood feud between maybe like the Racks and the Richards, or the Black Racks and the Shy Crosses. It would make sense. Thanks to the Shy Crosses, that caused a hell of a lot of trouble for the Racks. Right, so what have we got here? Galbert, Hooton. He has got 2 sons. That's our nephew, apparently. Heir to the lordship of the... Ah, of course it's our nephew, because Lord Jonas's heir, Sir Galbert, married Adara Snow, didn't he? Our bastard sister. Who's she married to now? She's married to Sir Torren, some randomer. Okay, but her son, Joran Hooton, not overly impressive. Decent stewardship and learning. Poor fighter. Can we get you? Oh, you're in hiding, so we can't do anything with you. And then we've got Jonas Hooton, who's, wow, very impressive. Quick trait. Right, let's do something with you then. What have you got? 7 martial, 6 intrigue, 5. You're pretty good all round. So let's assign you a guardian, someone with some decent learning, because you're good all round. We could send you to Benfrey Lancer. Yeah, let's do that. We'll send Jonas Hooton to Benfrey Lancer. That's not a bad option. Let's have a look at his other son. So we've got Walton Hooton, the Master at Arms, and he only has a daughter. He's pretty good though, Walton Hooton. He is quick, so that gives him that boost. Then his daughter is also quick and a poor fighter, but she's in hiding, so we can't do anything with her, which is a shame. So we move on from the bullseye. Let's go into the Black Sheep Hills. I dread to think what Essos looks like now. We'll have a little look in a minute. I do dread to think what it looks like. But in the Black Sheep Hills, we have Lord Jorin of the Black Sheep Hills, who's married to, obviously, Lady Leslyn Crescent. And, obviously, they are the parents of the prince that was promised, Benfrey Lancer, the 16-year-old with 37 martial. It just gets worse every time you click on him. Literally, a couple of days go by, you click on him, and he just gets more and more ridiculous. He's 16, for God's sake. This is absolutely insane. How good is he going to be once he actually, like, achieves some stuff in life and starts winning tourneys and fighting in battles? He's going to get unreal. I'm trying to think what the highest martial I can think of that I've seen in CK2. I know that the Hammer of Justice, I think, has 40 martial or 41 martial. Something like that if you start as him. So 37 is really up there. Then 25 diplomacy. That's like a ridiculously high diplomacy for any character. And he's just got it as like a weak second trait. And then he's 18 learning. It's just insane. Who's his wife? A Lingrave, just some randomer, which is a shame. And she's already got 3 children. 29. Why have you married a 29-year-old when you're 16? I hate when the AI does this. The AI is so stupid. Who else have we got? Let's have a look at Benfrey Lancer. He does have a lot of siblings, which is interesting. Bellara Lancer, who is betrothed to Arlen Oxter. Okay, she's not too bad. She's okay. We've got Ben Lancer, Benfrey, and Ben. Very imaginative. Oh, dear. He's a squire. Who's he a squire to? Sir Gorman, commander of the Warriors Way. Okay, but he's nothing too special. Kellis Snow. Yeah, nothing too interesting about him. Tomard Snow. Nothing interesting about him at all. And Rogar Snow. Oh, our nephew, yes. This is because Lord Jorin has been having an affair behind his lady wife's back with Pierce Snow. So Pierce Snow does actually have a son now who's been born with 1 intrigue, which is interesting. Is that just because of his bastard trait, maybe? No, it's not. So, but there's nothing too interesting about him yet, so we won't do anything with him. Yeah, that does seem to be the case, doesn't it? Benfrey seems to be a blessed name. All the Benfreys are amazing. Lancer on steroids. Yeah, it is very true. I hate... the AI, we all hate CK2 AI. But it does make for some very interesting things, which is funny. The High Lordships of Essos. I have no idea, to be honest. There's loads, isn't there? You've got all the Free City ones and the old Andalos ones. I really hope that Benfrey Lancer doesn't get cancer. That would be an absolute shame, but that would be typical CK2 if he did. Anyone who becomes that good will get it. Stitch, name your son Benfrey. Not a bad idea. I think what we're going to do if we get an heir, we're going to name it Lister, but then we could go with a Benfrey as well. We've got to have an Enger in there as well if we have a lot of sons, but I think the heir will be Lister if we actually have an heir, because the Sevenstars seem to be cursed nowadays. Pierce seduce the father of Benfrey, possible conflict. Could cause conflict. Obviously, Crescent are an old god family as well, who aren't too pleased with the throne at present anyway. Yeah, I don't think we should have another King Enger, not after the last one. That might have killed it off a little bit for a while. Benfrey, I think there's just those 2 Benfreys at the moment. It seems like Benjicot is the in-name at the moment. There's Benjicots everywhere. Okay, so we're going to the Warriors Watch, and then we've got Maidens Gate, and then we'll be done with the Ratland. So we've got House Morgoth, one of the old and original houses around. And we've got Lord Ellery of the Warriors Watch, who's 12. And wow, he seems like a very nice person. He's a poor fighter, playful, idolizer, conscientious, humble, temperate, kind, diligent, chaste, and honest. My God, he's literally got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 5 of the 7 virtues. This guy's insanely nice. What's his best trait? Diplomacy. Let's see if we can get you a decent guardian then with some decent diplomacy. Who have we got? Benfrey, we've got Leanna, we've got Stefan, we've got Giles Kington, Yorick Templeton. Wow, Yorick Templeton's aged into a very good diplomat. That's the husband of the Shycross girl, if I remember correctly, isn't it? Let's send Lord Ellery. I can't believe Benfrey's just top of every list when you look for a guardian. Let's send Ellery to the Queen. Why not? Let's take him on as our personal ward. Seems like House Morgoth could make a comeback. And wow, House Morgoth can field almost 6,000 men, which is really impressive for just one lordship. He doesn't have great personal combat skill. He's a poor fighter, though. It's better than nothing. But yeah, he's more of a diplomat by the looks of it, so we'll keep an eye on him. Well, we can't really do any marriages or anything with him at the minute because we already tried to get a guardianship. He does have his brother, Joran Morgoth, who's the heir, who's not too bad. Pretty all-rounded so far for a 9-year-old. And then Lyanna Morgoth, who has a stutter, 2 diplomacy, 2 stewardship. Nothing really impressive about her, but at least the actual lord of the Warriors Watch is pretty impressive, so he's definitely one to watch out for. I don't know why he's not already important, but we'll keep an eye on him. He could definitely play a part in the future. Who else do we have? Maidens Gate. We have Lord John the Simple of Maidens Gate. Amazing name. He is a competent steward, fashionable, slow, a knight, a poor fighter, patient, honourable, humble, zealous, and paranoid. Nothing too special about this guy. He's a bit of a drop in quality of the Blue Stars, of what we come to expect from the Blue Stars. He does have a son, Harstin Sevenstar the heir, who I believe is also slow. So yeah, it definitely seems like it's inherited by all Blue Stars now. What's his daughter like? His daughter's not slow, so that's interesting at least. But yeah, the heir is decent in diplomacy. We could get him a guardianship with someone with decent diplomacy. Let's have a look who we've got. Let's send him to Giles Kingdom. Why not? See if we can get that going. Is there any other Blue Stars alive? He does have some Sibyllins. He has Donald Firehand. Okay, so his Sibyllin is a Firehand, which is interesting. And another sibling he has is Alan Firehand as well. Okay, so I'm guessing his mother remarried a Firehand after his father died. Looks like, wait, oh no, she's 70. Maybe she was married to a Firehand first then. Who knows? Yes, they are older than him. Okay, yes, okay. How is the Blue Star line looking? 10 living members out of a total 26. I know the Blue Stars got absolutely raped by the plague. The whole family got near enough annihilated when the Great Sickness come around. Wow, Bia. Ah, yes, that's Sir Stefan's wife, isn't it, who recently died. She gave Sir Stefan a lot of children. And Dara, that is, yes, the mother of Benfra, if I remember right, yeah. And the mother of King Harlan of the North. So that's another interesting... oh, and the mother of Pia, of course. There's another interesting thing that I missed. King Harlan of the North, the King of the North, is the brother to Lord Benfrey the Just. So that's interesting. Then we've got John, of course. And then there's the distant members. Eustace, who's dead. Adara, who is the mother of the Lord of Longsister. Lister Sevenstar, of course, the 74-year-old. And then his line is secure, what we've already seen. Annette, some Longthorpes. Okay, Maria married a Bolton. And then we've got Gretchel, of course, and the Rack line. Good old Gretchel, the Ruthless, who everyone, I'm sure, will remember Gretchel. Back from the early days, was a very interesting character, the wife of Lord Rogar Rack. So that's Maidens Gate done. Now we're into the capital. We'll do the capital in a second, though. Let's go over to the Barrowlands first, and then we'll work our way back to the capital before we head south. And wow, I've just realised we've got 47 viewers at the moment, which is awesome. Thank you all so much. Barrington, Lord Enger the Evil, still lives at the ripe old age of 50, and he's looking pretty nice in his old age. He looks pretty formidable. He looks more impressive now than he's ever looked, to be honest. The fatness and the beard suits him. He looks like a beast. And, yeah, that was something. For some reason, he's plotting to kill his wife, who is his lover. I've got no idea why. He has gone a bit crazy in his old age, I suppose. He does have a 100% opinion of us, though, which is good. It's nice to see from a loyalist. With his 5 daughters, because the poor sod never had any sons. That would be hell, living with 5 daughters. Wow, minus 32 piety, which is a bit of a shame for such a zealot. Then again, I suppose you do lose piety when you go around blinding and torturing scepters. It's probably not very good for your piety. But how is the Firehand line doing? 22 living members, so the Firehand line is very secure by the sound of it. So let's have a look who we've got here. There's a lot to look through. So we've got, obviously, Edric, the one who started it all. His daughter, Amera Firehand, who is the mother of John of Maidens Gate. Interesting. And then some other Firehands that are around. Some very distant members. Donald Firehand, Sir Alan Firehand, Master at Arms at the Father's Fields. some blooms. Then obviously we've got Enger's main line where we have Cass, Elena, Fiona, Jenna, and Lanessa, who hasn't had any children yet. Jenna Firehand is married to the Rosehearts, and they've got a son, John Roseheart. Elena is married to, it seems, to John the Simple. Yes, it is. Okay, so they're cousins married. There's some more classic Andalian interbreeding going on. Got Walder, Septon Walder of God's Hill. Okay, so he's a Septon, yet he has 6 children, which is interesting. Edric Snow, who has Harry and... yes. So that's... Oh, brilliant. Even more interbreeding, because Edric Snow was the one who was married to Cass Firehand, isn't it? Because, yep, that's her sons. So there's a little bit more interbreeding. It seems the Firehands like their interbreeding. Byron Firehand, who is the very impressive martial and stewardship-based Firehand, who I believe is in Sevenport right now. We have Helena Snow, who's married to a Longthorpe. Interesting. Hobber Snow, who's also a Septon. Okay, so this guy's a Septon, yet he has 6 children, which include several bastards. Well, that's very hypocritical for such a pious family as the Firehands. And then we've got Shira, who it looks like married Lord Crownless, as he's... Yep, we've got 3 Crownlesses there. And then we've got Maud Dane, who is the mother of Lister Sevenstar, so that's obviously the wife of Lister Sevenstar's son. So that's the Firehand family tree. We'll have a look through some of these Firehands and see how good they are. We've got Cass, who is the heir to the Farthest Fields. She's pretty decent. She's a skilled fighter, rude, proud, just, greedy, and ambitious. Okay, she's lost the Zealous trait, which is interesting. I don't know where that's gone. She does have 2 sons. She's got Harry and Firehand, so the eventual heir of the Farthest Field, who's strong, affectionate, an idolizer, a trained fighter, and zealous. Wow, 9 martial, 10 years old. Let's get you a decent guardian then. Someone with martial. Let's send you to... Do with someone zealous, because you are zealous. We could send you to Pia. I can imagine a Firehand doing very well under Pia, just with how she is. So let's send you to Lady Pia. And then we've got Salazar Firehand, who's also zealous and an idolizer. So it'll be interesting to see how you turn out. We aren't going to be able to... Oh no, we can get a betrothal for you. So let's... Did we not do your guardianship? Why is it... Okay, for some reason we can't... I thought we just did you a guardianship, so why has it disappeared? Never mind. Unless it's because they're waiting for it to happen. That could be the reason. Burning holy fire. That would be... that does sum up the Firehands pretty well, to be fair. Yeah, cousins are pretty fine in this world, but there's a lot of cousins marrying cousins whose children marry each other's cousins, and it's... seems to be a lot of it going on. But then again, I think everyone in Andalia now has like some blood from the original houses. I think every single member alive in Andalia, apart from Sir Lister, who's still somehow alive, I think the rest have all got like Bloom, Josso, Roseheart, Sevenstar, Firehand, Rack blood. They've all just got like each got a drop of it. Who have we got next? We looked at Cass and her children. We've got Lady Elena of Maidens Gate. We've already looked at those, so we don't need to look at her. We've got Fiona Firehand, who is betrothed to Colin Crownless. Why? She's 26. Why is she betrothed to a 13-year-old? Why did the heir of House Crownless as well? Why does the AI do such things? Can you see, guys, now why I get so annoyed with the AI? I know I make all the AI things that I shouldn't, but you can see now why I do get upset with the AI. But yeah, Colin Crownless, why the hell? Stupid AI. Jenna Firehand, who's married to Donald Roseheart. Interesting. He is pathetic for a Roseheart. He should be ashamed of himself. They do have a child, though, John Roseheart, 1 year old. Hopefully he will live up to the Roseheart name. And finally, he has Lanessa Firehand, who's married to Bradgood. Whoever he is, no idea who Sir Lister Bradgood is. And then we have Enger's cousins. So we will have a look at them. We've got Septon Walder, who is still alive. Nothing too impressive about him. He's lustful and greedy. Not very good traits for a Septon. Then he's got his son, Sir Byron Firehand, who's married to Milena Josso. And he's actually really impressive. 10 diplomacy, 20 martial, 20 stewardship. Really impressive, actually, to be honest. A brilliant commander, unyielding and inspiring leader. Fashionable, poor fighter, a knight, ambitious, brave and kind. So yeah, he's really impressive. He's a decent person to have in our court. And then the Septon Hobart Snow, another Septon from House Firehand. Wow, 22 diplomacy there. That's actually pretty impressive, to be fair. Really decent. And Sir Athan Snow, another bastard member, who's also zealous, because I don't think you can be a Firehand unless you're zealous, of course. And that's pretty much it for the Firehands. I do think they have some vassals under those, though. Direct vassals in Barrington, so we will look at those. I'm pretty sure they have the Aldermans. And we have Sir Terence Alderman now. So his mother died, Lady Elaine, who was actually really decent. But yeah, so we now have Sir Terence Alderman, a house that's been around for quite some time. Nothing too impressive about him. And he does have a sibling as well, Colin Alderman. Nothing too impressive about him. Zealous, which will suit him well living with the Firehands. No, there's no CK free stream tomorrow, Max. Obviously, I won't get it till Tuesday, unfortunately. So I've got to wait. I cannot wait till it does come out. I'm so excited, but it seems to be taking so long for it to come out. I thought it was out Tuesday. Is it tomorrow? I didn't think it was out till Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, thanks, Chris. I thought it was. You got me excited then. I was like, really? Is it tomorrow? But yeah, let's go over into Silver Spear, where we do have Lord Peter Silvereye, who's pretty decent diplomacy-wise, to be honest. Not too bad at all. The Silvereyes have recovered a little bit, so we'll look at their family tree, because I know at one point they almost died out, and then there was the Silvereyes who, for whatever reason, went over to Andalos for reasons. But yeah, we seem to have quite a lot of Silvereyes around. Well, I thought we did. Yeah, we do. We have a decent amount of Silvereyes around. We also have Summer Islander Silvereyes, which is interesting. They could be the ones who went off and did their own thing. But it seems like most of the Silvereyes are actually married into other houses. So we have the main lord, and then we have his son, Sir Corman Silvereye. Oh, wow. Who's a formidable fighter. Interesting. And he is the heir. Who's he married to? Janella Salazar. Decent marriage. Oh, and she's pregnant as well. Perfect. So the Silvereye family seems pretty secure. And this guy's a decent commander to look out for in the future. I don't think we would be able to invite him to court, no. So the Silvereyes are in pretty decent state. Let's have a look at his sister, Dany Silver. Who's she married to? Oh, Malwyn Crescent. Interesting. Who's their liege? Captain... Okay, of the Bright Banners. Okay, so for some reason, Malwyn Crescent is part of a sellsword company. And he wants to tame a dragon. Well, you best not bring a dragon back to Andalia. We already have a few dragons in Andalia. I'll see you later, Chris. Thanks for coming to the stream. Father's Ford. We obviously have House Richards with Lord Samwell of the Father's Ford, who seems to be going bold on top. Unlucky, Lord Samwell, but he has an amazing 28 diplomacy. So, of course, he is the diplomat of the Father's Field. He has 100% opinion of us as well, which is interesting. Like I said, so many people seem to absolutely love Lyanna, which is no surprise. She does seem like a very lovable person. I think most of these men love her just because of how beautiful she is, to be honest. But whatever works, whatever keeps the vassals loyal. Gruff diplomat, attractive, poor fighter, socializer, family person, kind, content and shy. He has 4 children. He's got Lady Becca of Northwold. Okay, so she's married to the Lord of House Coldwater. Decent marriage. They are High Lords, so that's a good match for the Richards. And she's pretty decent. Decent stewardship, honourable, craven, family person, just and authoritative. Wilbert Richards, the heir to the Father's Ford, who's a decent diplomat. And he's the squire of Lord Engley Evil. Interesting. But yeah, he's not too bad. Who's he married to? He's married to someone from Andal Coast. Interesting. We have Ella Richards, 13. She's pretty good all round as well. And Aglantine. She's not too bad either. Let's have a look at the House Richards family tree. There's 11 members alive. So there's the ones that we've already looked at. Then we've got Lena Richards, who's married into House Marsh. And then we have Max Richard, who is Lord of the Sisters, apparently, which is interesting. And then Damon Richards, who is mother to the Lady of Norcross. So let's have a look at this Max Richards. How good's he? So he's married to Lady Snowfall, which is interesting. And they do have a daughter, Palo Richards. Oh, so they married normally, which is interesting. So that means that... Interesting. So the Richards are going to inherit the sisters. That's very interesting. The Richards have done pretty well. They've got fingers in a lot of pies, it would seem. Their diplomacy skills are working quite well for them. So, yeah, they've done very impressive. So they've got the chance of inheriting the sisters. They've got the Father's Ford. They've got a alliance with the Cold Waters. So the Richards seem to be going places. The Richards are getting a lot of decent potential going forward. Right, so that's Barrington done. I'm just going to have a quick drink before we move on. So we will go into Sevenport next. So we'll start with, let's start with Sevensguard, where we have Sir Bellis the Late. I did add the nickname, as many of you suggested, as if you remember at the end of the war, he literally joined in just before we forced Titus to surrender. He literally pulled a full-on Walder Frey. So, yep, he's now Sir Bellis the Late of Sevensguard. He does have a son, Sir Maiden of Bent Barrow. I think the Red Guards are in pretty decent shape. They've got very weird and mixed up lines. We've got Davos, whose daughter is a Cold Water. So the Cold Waters are going to inherit the Cape of Eagles. So they're going to become a lot stronger. They've got one's married into the Silver Eyes. Okay, so actually... And yeah, Leslin, who's the mother of Harbert, and Alison, Ambrose, and Benjicott Sevenstar. And then Maiden, who's got 2 daughters. Oh, wow. So the Red Guard line is in dangerous waters of going extinct. They're actually at a huge risk of going extinct. The Red Guard, I don't want the Red Guards to die. I absolutely love the Red, well, I love the original Red Guard, Sir Davos. I'm not too keen on this guy here, Sir Bellos, but yeah, so all we've got is 2 young Red Guard daughters, who neither of them are impressive. Can we arrange a betrothal? Do we have anyone that we can arrange a betrothal with them? Someone who's not going to matter? Not really. Hopefully the AI doesn't go stupid and they actually marry properly, because the Red Guards could die out. As for the Rills, I believe that High King Agar took all 3 titles for himself. So I'm not actually sure where the Riswells are. There are a few Riswells around. Unfortunately, we can't move them to our court. I'm not sure where they are, to be honest. So this guy is in Blackpool. This guy is in Blackpool. Oh, he's reigning in Blackpool. Okay, so it looks like they... okay, so they've got the lordship of the Stony Shore. So he must have usurped one of his bannermen. So the Riswells are still going okay. They are still alive. That's good. I probably will give the Rills back to them, but we'll probably keep it under our own land when we do take that to try and push out the Ironborn. Same with Flint's Finger. We will take that when we push out the Ironborn and take that for ourselves. House Richards are doing very well, Max. You've had to wait a long time for your house to do something after Max made things so bad for you, but it looks like the Richards are doing very well at playing the Game of Thrones at the moment, which is interesting. So, yeah, that's the Red Guards. We'll go into Whitford, where we have House Josso. We have Lady Helene of Whitford, who's married to her cousin, keeping the bloodlines pure yet again. They have their sons Harbert Josso, 10 years old, poor fighter, rowdy, affectionate. Nothing too impressive about him. He's got the struggle focus, so we could try and get him a better guardian. Let's have a look if we've got anyone decent for him. Let's go for someone with some decent martial. Stefan Roseheart's already got a lot of people. What about Benjicott Sevenstar? Let's send you to him. We've got Jared Josso. Nothing overly impressive about him. And Victoria Josso, who is slow, so we'll leave her. House Josso. Wow. Total members 45. That's insane. Living members 23. I know the Jossos did do a lot of breeding at one point. There was a hell of a lot of them in the early days under Wilbert. I remember there being a hell of a lot of them where there was expanding all over the place. They took the Warriors' Way for a little while. No, the Warriors' Watch, sorry, for a little while. They also took the Crossing. They also invaded Old Town, if I remember correctly, at one point as well. My God, there's a hell of a lot of Jossos. Right, so who have we got? Dead, we've got Argrave Josso, a 15-year-old. Okay, he's from the Cross. This is the Crossing branch, isn't it? Cosgrove's line is the line that had the Crossing. have Corman Josso, who obviously was sent to the Night's Watch. We have Emmon Josso, heir to the Castle of Hagsmire. Okay, and then we've got the main Josso line, which is where Arlen Josso comes from, who is obviously the father of Queen Jonquil. The brief Queen Jonquil, that is. So the Josso line's pretty secure through several lines. Where is the actual heir? Here. Harbert Josso. Okay, so yeah, the Josso should be good, which is good. I do like House Josso. They've got a lot of members, so at least they should be pretty safe. Oh yeah, that's a thing that I've been working on. For those of you who aren't in the Discord, I've only sent them in the Discord so far, but I may use them in POVs if I can and they work well. So far I've only done the northern lands of Andalia, but I have actually made maps of the cities and castles for all of these provinces. So if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, because you should anyway. I don't know why you're not already in there, but yeah, you'll be able to check out those city maps that we've made that are really cool. And if not, hopefully you'll see them soon in POVs when I get a chance to use them. The Dark Blades, I'm pretty sure, are still around somewhere. Are they in Sevenstar? Have I missed them by accident? Are they? Yes, here we go. Sir Elwood Darkblade of Elkstone, one of the Knights of the Castles in Sevenstar. Skilled fighter, knight, fashionable, cruel, humble, envious, gluttonous, and gregarious. 11 martial. Yeah, pretty decent. He's married, and he does have a son as well, Ryman Darkblade, 1 year old. So the Darkblades are in a pretty good state. Yeah, awesome. I already know who killed Jonquil Albert. Us in the creation team know. And we will be bringing it up in a POV so that you guys can get closure and know who did it. But we're not sure where we're going to go with it just yet. It may remain a mystery, but we do know who the guilty person or people are for the assassination of Queen Jonquil. Right, so we've got the White Star, where we have Lord Stefan, the Warrior of White Star. I'm sure many of your guys' favourite character. Absolutely awesome. Now 64. That didn't stop him from ripping through that Umber Lord, though. He's a giant. Strong, as we know. Quick. He's just amazing. Oh, he's a widow as well. Widowed, which is nice. So he's going to refuse to remarry, which is very nice, because we know that he did love his lady wife a hell of a lot. He named her Queen of Love and Beauty. The High Oak, we will have a look when we look through our courtiers. I'll check for you. Terry, I thought you wasn't here anymore. Terry's back. Butchers, how are you watching? You're grounded. He must have snuck away his tablet or laptop or whatever. Who is the heir to the White Star? This is what I worry about. The Rosehearts, we obviously had the first Stefan, who was amazing. Then his son, Lord Medgar, wasn't overly impressive. And then we've had Lord Stefan, who is amazing. But after Lord Stefan goes, the Rosehearts look pretty weak, to be honest. We've got Lord Ambrose of Crane Rock, who is strong, of course, like all Rosehearts, but he's a poor fighter. He's only got a daughter, Elise Roseheart, who's nothing special. And then he has his daughter, Arwen Roseheart, who is married to Emmon Josso. And then we have Sir Will Roseheart, who is a poor fighter. God, Stefan must be so disappointed. The Rosehearts do need a bloodline. It's so disappointing that we can't add bloodlines to these people. The Rosehearts deserve a bloodline, along with many other families as well. Borella Roseheart, and she's got the weak trait, so she's not very Roseheart at all. Let's have a look at the Rosehearts family tree. Apparently there are 15 living members, so maybe there's some impressive male members elsewhere. We've got some in the Red Guard, some in the Borrel, but they're all dead. She's in the Josso line. Is your line still... Oh, no, a son. Oh, no, so we've got Sir Leopold Roseheart, who's still alive. We've got Gretel Roseheart, who was killed by a dragon, which is interesting. But we do have Leopold Roseheart, who's still alive. So let's just make this small for a minute so we can have a look at Leopold. Nothing impressive, really. He's in hiding as well, so we can't do anything with him. Then we have Alessander Roseheart, who's still alive. Is that Stefan's brother? I know it's one of Stefan's sons. Okay. Oh, no, it's not. No, sorry. It is Stefan's brother, sorry. A hell of an age difference between them. 26 years younger, but he has a son as well. Donald Roseheart, who is the Master of Laws for the White Star. 12 diplomacy, so not really impressive. John Roseheart, 1 year old. Nothing really impressive there. Cosgrove. Okay, we've got another Roseheart here. John Roseheart, but he's a Septon. Decent learning. Ronald Roseheart, 1 year old, nothing really impressive. John Roseheart, ah yes, he's the one who died in the tourney. He had a daughter who had a Rack son who's also dead. Okay, then we've got the ones married to the Sevenstar. Okay, so yeah, the Rosehearts are pretty disappointing at present. Hopefully some of those younger ones develop into better lords, because they're very, very disappointed. Nearly all of the houses have daughters. We seem to have had a massive surge in daughters being born lately. It's literally just daughters and no sons. No one's felt it harder than the Firehands and the Sevenstars. As we know, Anger the Evil had 5 daughters, and the Sevenstars have been cursed with only daughters for the last few generations. We'll go Sevenport last, so we'll go to Oldcastle next and House Bloom. We have Lord Adron Bloom now, the new Lord of Oldcastle, as unfortunately Lord Cornwall Bloom passed away in the last episode. One of my favourite characters so far in the Knights of Andalia, so I was really devastated that he's died. But Lord Adron's pretty decent. He has won a tourney. He's finished second place in the Grand Tourney as well, for Leanna's coronation, where he was unhorsed by Stefan in the final. He's got 21 intrigue. Wow, I didn't realise he was such an intrigue-based character. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. He's an amateurish plotter, strong, skilled fighter, a knight, mystic, cynical, temperate, envious, deceitful, and chase. And his wife is Princess Jonquil, who is the sister of Enga II. Fat, content, chaste, just, and ruthless. Okay, so yes, Adrian, how are the Blooms looking? We have 17 living members of House Bloom, so that's pretty good. As long as we've got some males in there, we should be okay. We've got Jonas and Erman, so there's a couple of males in the main line. Then there's some Wainwoods there. We've got Tyler here with Elwood Bloom, so we've got an Elwood, that's good. Mance Bloom, Martin Bloom, Clayson Bloom. Okay, so there's a lot. Enger Bloom, Offen Bloom. There's a lot of Blooms around by the looks of it. Lucamore Bloom, he was a beast. He unfortunately died not long ago, though, which is a shame. He was the winner of a Roseheart at one point. Okay, so the Blooms seem to be pretty secure. Let's have a look at Lord Adron's heir. So his heir is our cousin, Jonas Bloom. Poor fighter squat. Okay, so he's pretty pathetic. Does have a wife, Della Highstar. Very decent bride. Very well done. And then we've got Emin Bloom, who's 10 and a genius. Wow. Okay, so the heir's brother is very impressive. Why have we not come across you before? This is why I like to do these streams, because there's some characters like this that we could miss, well, I could miss without doing this. So let's have a look at you. 18 opinion. Let's see if we can get you a decent guardian then. You're more stewardship, but you have gone more diplomacy-wise, so we'll get you a diplomat instead. We could take you as our personal ward, actually. We do have room for one, so let's do that. We'll take you on ourselves. Glad that we managed to find you. And then there's a lot of distant cousins, wasn't there, of House Bloom? They were very distant, though, if I remember rightly. It would have been like Lord Colmore's brother's children, wouldn't it? Yes, Elwood Bloom. Nothing too impressive about him. So at least we found that very decent Bloom, though, which is good. Yeah, it looks like Stefan Roseheart did just keep all of the Roseheart blood to himself. So that's Oldcastle. So now we can finally get to Sevenport, where we have Queen Lyanna, of course. We can now raise 70,000 troops, which is good as well. And obviously stuff still needs to recover. As you can see, the Dements, there's still another 4,000 men we can call up from our own Dements. And a couple of thousand from vassals as well. We can call up, oh my god, I've just realised we can call up nearly 800 fleets. So countering the Ironborn shouldn't be a problem. We should be able to get our men to the Isles pretty easily. We do have our 2 daughters, Princess Kyra, who has the attractive trait, and that's it. And Princess Violet, who also has the attractive trait. Now we just need some sons. We're only 25 still, so we've got plenty of time to hopefully get some sons out. We did have these 2 within a year of each other. So hopefully that means we'll be able to pop out some more children pretty quickly. We desperately need them. Let's have a look through our court then and have a look who we've got in our court still kicking about. We won't look at the lords because we'll look at those when we get to their lordships anyway. So we'll just have a look at actual courtiers. We've got Kristen Creed, which was one of the custom characters made up by you guys pretty recently. Hey Uno, welcome to the stream. But yeah, we looked at this guy in the last episode, so we won't go over him too much. We have Alice Coldwater, who's obviously the wife of Donico Shycross, and she's also a friend of Lyanna Sevenstar. We have Joe Rack, who we've already looked over, but I'm just going to click on him again just because of how impressive he is. We have Byron Firehand, who we've already looked at. We have Roland Highoak of House Highoak. How's he doing? He's not had any children yet. He is married, though, so hopefully he gets a child soon. Okay, his wife's only 16, so they've got plenty of time to get some children out. Yet, Sir Roland the Oak, a giant, trained fighter, knight, scarred, duelist, brave, wrath, and content. Was that your character, Rowan? I'm pretty sure that was Rowan's character, if I remember correctly. After him, who else have we got? We've got Mega Rack, who we've already looked at. Brienne, some random courtier. Sir Glendon, the gentle giant. Donico Shycross, who I think he is the heir to the Dragon's Den. Yes, he is. 100% opinion of Leanna. Look at everyone's opinions. Everything is in high green, other than the peoples whose family were obviously killed by war. Manessa Rat. We've got Sir Warren, our courtier, who is married to a hard steel. He does have a son as well, the Lord of Wickham. Interesting. But yeah, he's pretty decent. We've got Kristen, who's our court dwarf. Very interesting character. You probably won't see much of him in-game, but I will be using this guy for lore videos and history videos. A little bit like a mushroom type character, maybe. Hendry, these are a lot of those old knights, I think, that we invited to court in the last episode from the tourney. Yeah, and then we've got Giles Kington, which is Hand of the King's custom character that we added in the last episode. Name your third daughter Jonquil. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. If we have another daughter, to name it Jonquil. Not a bad idea, that ain't, to be fair. Maybe we could have a Rennie as well if we have, unfortunately, 4 daughters. I wouldn't mind having 4 daughters as long as we have at least 2 sons. I want 2 sons. We need some male 7-stars desperately. We've got Cregan Stark. Are you still alive? Poor fighter, celibate. Oh, your wife is dead. You did have one son who is the king in the north, so you did pretty well. Why are you in our court when your son's king in the north? Shouldn't you be over there? There's no need for you to be here anymore. Damien Shycross, who is the son of Donico and Alice Coldwater. Strong trait, very impressive. Let's see if we can get you a guardian. We're obviously going to go Marsh. Yep, you've got the struggle focus. That's for the best, I think. Let's assign you a guardian nice and early. Let's send you to... who have we got? Let's send you to Pier as well. Why not? The genius bastard of Anglian care. Ah, yes. Damon. We'll get to him. We'll have a look through him as we get further down. He's not in our court. He went to the Citadel, and then he dropped out of the Citadel, and he's now the Lord of Witch Isle, which is interesting. We have Lister 7-star, Lister the Loyal, still going well at 74. As much as I loved Rogar Rack, I would love it if Lister were to beat his age. Lord Rogar lived to 80, so Lister still has another 6 years to match that. But he's going strong, so I can't see why he can't do it. We have Salandar Mo Ago, our Master of Whisperers, and that is Vax custom character, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Vax custom character from the Discord. Ben Freelancer, we've already looked over, but I'm just going to look at him again just to shake my head at the ridiculousness of it. We've got a couple of Malisters. We've got Pia, so we will look over Pia while we're here. Our bastard sister, who's also a member of our Queen's Guard now. 26 March. She has become a formidable fighter as well now. I can't remember if I pointed that out in a video, so we will look over that. So it's interesting that she's actually surpassed Kyra. Whether Kyra would have become a formidable fighter, we'll never know. She probably could have done, to be honest. She does obviously have her bastard son as now, Rogar Snow. There's nothing too interesting about him at present. Who else do we have? We've already looked at Rack. There's no one really too... I don't think there's anyone really... Oh, no, we've got Mark Awesome, which was a custom character made by someone in the Discord as well. Has he had any children yet? Not yet. Is his wife pregnant? Not yet. We've got Byrar Erenstar, who is the heir to Erenford, son of Titus. Strong, hair-lip, fussy, trained fighter, slothful and deceitful. Decent martial, decent learning. But yeah, we're going to make sure that we keep him around us. We don't want to let him go anywhere. We need to keep him very close. Who else do we have? Arlen Josso, I know a lot of you wanted to know how he was getting on. He has got the depressed trait, as well as the widowed trait. They did love each other dearly, to be fair, didn't they? I do feel very, very sorry for this guy. lost his daughter and his wife within a couple of months of each other. So, yeah, this guy must be so broken. Must be absolutely broken. Jane Firehand, who we've looked, and then Benji Cott Sevenstar, who we pointed out at the beginning of the stream, who's very interesting, who we married to Mega Rack. So that's Sevenport. We do have a couple of direct vassals who we could look at. We've got the Green. Then again, the Green Stars have an actual lordship now. So yeah, there's not really much point in doing that. So that's all of North Andalia looked at. Probably, I don't know if we'll look over everyone south. Some of these are pretty uneventful, but we'll look at most of them. We do have our armies which are marching onto Willowwood to merge together to take on the Blackwoods. We need to make sure that we take that Blackwood land pretty quick while the Storm Riverlands are at war, because if that war ends, we'll have to go to war with the Stormlands to take it. Right, so the Crossfort we obviously own ourselves. In Mistlewood we have Lord Belgrave Pegleg of House Rook, who unfortunately lost his leg in this, I think it was the second Battle of Old Stones, wasn't it, where Enger Firehand chopped off this poor guy's leg. But wow, he's been very busy. He hasn't let the loss of his leg stop him from producing children. So it looks like House Rook, they've got 8 living members, so most of the living members are directly from him. Are any of these decent? We've got Helena Rook, ugly. Yorick Rook, 6-year-old, nothing too impressive about him. Garibold Rook, who is a twin. Decent stewardship though for a 5-year-old. So let's get you a guardian with decent stewardship. Do we have anyone decent? Byron Firehand, would you be willing to accept? Yes, you are. Perfect. Ryman Rook, 5-year-old, the other twin, decent learning. Let's see if we can get... Oh, we won't be able to get any more guardians because we've already sent for one. And then we've got Maynard Rook, who's nothing too impressive about him. Who else do we have? We have Lady Dina of House Redguard, but for some reason she married normally. So even this is where what's going to look like it's going to make the Redguards die out, unfortunately, which is such a shame. But yep, she's got several children, but they're all Cold Waters. So we'll look at those when we get to the Cold Waters. Really annoyed that the Redguards might die out, but it's Game of Thrones, isn't it? This is what happens. Some good houses do die out, so we'll see how that goes. Seaguard, we have Lord Malister, who, wow, looks in pretty bad shape. Oh, he's got an infection. He's one-eyed and he's got an infection in the eye. So it looks like Lord Stefan Malister could soon die. Who is his heir? Barrion Malister. Okay. 13-year-old. Interesting. Who... Okay, yeah, he's in Chiltern at the moment. So how are the Malisters looking? Is their line secure? 8 living members. Stefan, Barrion, Pyron. Okay, so there's loads of male Malisters. So hopefully the Malisters will be pretty secure. Old Stones, we have... Lord Jamie Mudd of Old Stones, who nothing too impressive about him, to be honest. What's he trying to do? Fabricate a claim on the High Lordship of Seaguard. Fair enough, I can understand why. Does have a son, Prince Humphrey of Old Stones. That's pretty much it for the Mudds of Andalia. Does have the bloodline as well, which is cool. Wow. Oh, that's a lot of bloodlines, all made by the same guy. Interesting. But yeah, so Lord Jamie... pretty much is the only... These are the only Mudds in Andalia. The other Mudds we won't look at as they're not part of Andalia. Who do we have in Marlet Bay? We have House... Okay, so we have a random house. And then the Redguards own Gravesham as well. So we have a random house here. So that's going to need replacing at some point. We won't bother looking at them because they're not important. Yes, Enger does need to teach them how to breed. Yeah, children does need to be added back to these lands. I have done it once already where I've given it back to the Willowwood lands, but then somehow, because several characters died, it made it so the Malister Lord did end up re-inheriting, so it's caused problems again. We have House Redwolf here, of course, which is Ambrose, Lord Ambrose Snow's line, one of our bastard brothers, who was obviously slain by Titus. Well, no, he was actually fought by Titus, wasn't he, and lost his eye fighting Titus and then died in Titus's dungeon. And then we have Lady Alisane of Seaguard. She also has 2 siblings. She's not too bad, to be fair. She's got decent martial, poor fight. She's still got a lot of child traits. She's got some splint mail armor. The Red Wolf family only has the 3 living members, but we shan't worry too much about that because obviously they're quite a new house anyway, so they should be pretty secure. We'll go up to the Northlands next, where we have Lord Darnold Crownless, who was an absolute beast in that first battle of Old Stones, of course. He does have 2 children. We've got Colin Crownless, who for some reason is marrying someone double his age. Then we have Carl Crownless, who, wow, is quick. So that's interesting. So, and you've got very good diplomacy, but you've got a focus education of faith, which is interesting. Okay, so what should we do for your guardian? Who could we send you to? We could go the diplomatic way, but I don't know if to stick more law-wise and send you maybe to a Septon then, or a Zealous character. Let's have a look what we've got learned. Can we send you to Danes Corbury? Let's send you to Danes Corbury, why not? And then you also have a sister, Rhea Crownless, who's nothing too special, to be honest. That's it for the Crownless family, as they are quite new as well. I can edit courtiers, Albert, so I'm more than happy to do that for you. But yeah, I can't add direct characters where I can change their names and such. Now that the file's so big, I can't get in to do that anymore. But I can edit a courtier, so I can still give them the family name and the traits and such, but I just can't give them their first name. Erinford, we obviously have Master Byra still, who we already looked at, but he does have 3 siblings. He's also not got his betrothal anymore. I think he was betrothed to an Umber, was he? We'll know which one he's betrothed to by what the other ones are betrothed to. So we've got Gilbert Erenstar, who's also strong. Okay, so he's pretty interesting. There's some decent Erenstar. We should probably, you know what? We should probably send these to loyalists. Let's send this. We can't send him to Benfra. Can we send him to Stefan? No, so we can't do that. Anything with him. And then we've got, he's not betrothed anymore either. Then we've got Tian Erenstar, also not betrothed anymore. He's strong, so there's 2 twins that are strong. It's a shame that we can't give these guardians, because then we could have sent them to different bits of the realm. We could have sent one to Benfra, one to the Racks, for instance, one to the Firehands, to send them to the loyalists. And then we've got Joessa Erenstar as well, who's also strong. So all of Titus's children seem to have inherited his strength. We have Wickham, where we have House Hardsteel, which is quite a new house put forward by one of you guys, so there's not much to tell about them. We have the main lord, who's a very good steward, which is good for this land, the land of Willowwood, and he has his daughter Gisela Hardsteel. Then we have Willowwood, where we have Lord John. Oh, he's got a nickname, Lord John the Unready of Willowwood. Okay, that nickname makes sense, to be fair. Not because of his fault. It's not really his fault. I do feel sorry for him. Willowwood was obviously taken by us, and then obviously attacked and sacked and everything, and then not long afterwards it was sacked by the Redstones, and then it was sacked by the Erenstar. So Willowwood is in a complete mess at the moment, probably. If we click on it, will it say that it's in a mess? No, it doesn't. But it is. It really is. He has got several children, though, which is good. Let's have a look. He's got Enga Seymour. Oh, yes. New house trying to gain favour with the royal family by naming their child Enga, even though this is only just recently a region of Andalia. But he's pretty decent. Very decent diplomacy. So let's get you a guardian with decent diplomacy. Who have we got? Stefan's already got a load. Let's send you to Yorick Templeton, as that is actually quite close by. We have Leona Seymour, who's, wow, very good 9 intrigue. Not bad for a 9-year-old. Carl Seymour, nothing too impressive about him. Norbert Seymour, pretty much the same. And Arlen Seymour, who's only just been born. So, yeah, the Seymour family is pretty much set up pretty well for the future. They're in a good position once they get these lands under better control. They also have the Willow Hill Castle, which is their main castle, and then 3 city holdings with another city being built. So this is going to be our main trade centre of the Riverlands and the south areas. Obviously we've got Gulltown, but that's going to be the main area. Chiltern's the Malister, so we don't need to look over that. Saltpans is House Mooton. Well, a second branch of House Mooton. Nothing too impressive about this guy. He's got his daughter Edmund Mooton, the heir. Nothing too impressive about him. And Wendell Mooton. Crabshaw, we have Lord Mathis Crescent, who we've already looked at. Wickerden, We obviously have the Redstone, the family of Harbert, who's now a brother of the Night's Watch. How are you getting on, Harbert? You are at court in Eastwatch by the Sea, and you're not heir. So does that mean that Belvazar has actually got a chance of becoming Lord Commander then if he's heir? Because that's interesting. But let's have a look at his son, Sir Enger of Wickerden. Nothing too impressive about him. He's with Sir Bennett. Harry Redstone, our nephew, nothing too impressive about him. And a lone Redstone who is attractive. Can we can offer you a non-aggression pact. Of course you're going to turn it down. Can we get you a Guardian? No, I didn't think that you would allow it. And then in 9 stars, we have House Templeton, Lord Yorick, who's... Yeah, House Templeton's pretty bare, if I remember. Yeah, there's only 3 living members of House Templeton. The Lord, his brother, and then his daughter Tilla. So the Templetons are in real danger of becoming under threat. And I'm going to say it just because it's a bit of a meme and you know I say it all the time. I love that sigil so much. Right, so... Yeah, he's nothing too impressive. He's okay. Pretty good diplomacy-wise, actually. Very good. His heir... Oh my god, his heir is a genius. Awesome. We'll make you important. You should already be important, but you're not for some reason. Awesome. So, Tilly Templeton, awesome name, by the way. That rolls off the tongue very nice. Is a genius. Interesting. Lord Yorick is obviously married to Lady... to a Shycross, the daughter of Lord Damien. And together they've made a genius daughter, which is awesome. We could do that going forward, Brady. It might be a way of keeping them in line a little bit better. Harroway's Town, I'm really undecided on Rome because of the stupid game. At least with how CK3 works, in the future, I'll get rid of this problem, but that's no good to us now. But unfortunately, this province is split over the river. Now, I can't remember who it was, but a couple of guys in the Discord did come up with a really good way to explain this in lore, so we probably could take it. And that is for this to be like a bit of an outpost, so that we have an outpost in the Stormland, so that could talk us around it. But so we probably will take it just because it's annoying. We will take Stilfen, Blue Fork and Red Fork, and the Blackwood Lands, Knet, and then there is a slight chance that we could take River Run as well, and then explain it in the same way as we did for Harroway's Town. But I'm undecided. It's again because it covers 2 sections of this river, and we did want everything north of the Red Fork for the borders. It does sound like the name of a children's rhyme. It's like, there's such a nice ring to it, though. Yeah, when Lister dies, Albert, I'm going to be so sad. I'm going to be more sad when Lister dies than any other character. Apart from Colmore Bloom, maybe. And then when other characters like Colmore die. In Dartmoor, we have Sir Lister the Merciless of Dartmoor, House Corbury. He's going to die soon, so his son will inherit. And then I think we'll give Dartmoor to somebody else, because I don't want the Corburys having too much power. They already have a high lordship. The Bloody Gate is just a randomer, so we don't need to look over that. In Redfort, we have House Redfort with Lord Yorick of Redfort, who has gonorrhea because that just catches everywhere. Yeah, that is true. It's in like a thingy of rivers. Isn't it like where a river meets another river? It's like a triangle, isn't it? It's in the middle. The castle's a triangle shape. So we could take it lore-wise because of that reason, because that they can shut off the banks. Okay, so Robert Redfort died, meaning that the heir is now a daughter. There's nothing too impressive. Oh, then again, decent diplomacy for a 7-year-old. We could, let's see if we can get a guardian for her with decent diplomacy. Let's send her to Giles Kington, why not? And then the other daughter's not too impressive, so the Redforts are down to their bare bones as well. Ruffermont, we have Lady Karina of Ruffermont of House Arran, who is the last Arran, I believe, because her father was the last male Arran, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, one of them married Harbert, so the Redstones have Arran blood, and then the other one married Benfrey, meaning that the High Stars have Arran blood, but I'm pretty sure that Karina is the last Arran. Yeah, they're into the Royce family, Ranella into the Mudd family. Yeah, so she is the last and only remaining member of House Arran. So we've got to hope that she don't die. She did at least marry so she won't lose her name, so the AI didn't go stupid again. So hopefully the Arrans do so around. She's pretty good as well, if I'm honest. 16 intrigue. She's not bad at all. But she's already married, so we can't do anything there. The Eyrie, of course, we have Lord Benfrey the Just, who is 30 now. So he's got his middle-aged picture. He wants to obtain a greater throne. Well, that may be arranged at some point. Yeah, Edric Firehand's death was sad. I loved Edric Firehand, so it was such a shame to see him go. That's a good point, actually. River and Harroway's Town could be basically... Yeah, we could build fortresses. One here for the crossing, for the start of the Trident, and one at the end of the Trident. There could be 2 fortresses either end of the Trident. That could work. Benfrey has his daughter Della Highstar, who's betrothed to the Bloom heir. And then we've got Hugo Highstar, who has the quick trait. Decent intrigue. He's pretty decent all around. He's got intrigue, though, which is worrying. I wouldn't expect that of a son of Benfrey. He does have the pride focus, though. So we could go for a... I don't know who would be a good guardian for him. Let's have a look. Do you know what? Let's just go with Benfrey Lancer for his guardian, because then he could pick up any trait. Who knows what he could end up like. He's not betrothed yet either, which is interesting. And then we have... okay, so he's had another son now then. So we've got Hugo. No, Hugo. But I thought he had... Okay, Brunette Highstar, who's attractive and strong. I can't remember that being his name. I thought his name was something else. But, okay, he's decent, though. So it'll be interesting to see how he turns out. We're not going to be able to assign a guardian because we've already done one for the oldest son. In Strong Song, we have House Belmore, which is another house, I think, which is in danger of dying out. I'm pretty sure there are very, very few Belmores around. I don't think there's any Belmores at all, actually. Let's have a look. Are there any of these Belmore? Graftons? No. Templetons, who have all died out. Wow, the Templetons really did get hit hard at some point then. So, yeah, he is the last remaining Belmore because his son and heir, Septon Robar, is a bastard. But hopefully, when he inherits, he'll legitimize himself. He is the heir. Will he get married, though, because he's a stupid Septon? So I don't think he can't get married. So that's going to be interesting. The Belmores could die out, which is annoying. In Crown Crag, we have House Brune, which is a fairly new house in Andalia. So this is literally the only Brune, Lord Jorin of Crown Crag, who's, wow, 20 intrigue. He's also a giant and brawner and a knight, but can't fight, apparently. Zealous. Interesting. Very good intrigue. Decent martial. He's got a daughter, Alice Brune, so there are a few Brunes around. And that's also the brother of Lord Damon, so at least we can have a look at Damon while we're at it. Lord Damon Snow, who's now 25, so he's the same age as Lyanna, one of the younger of Aengar II's brood, with his 29 learning and 21 martial. And yeah, he's just settled down and married the Lady of Witch Isle, which is interesting. So yeah, there's not much to write home about him. He did join the Citadel for a while and gained 1 link, a copper link, before thinking, no, this ain't for me, and jacking it in. And Belmore... Oh, Belmore does have a daughter. You're right. I don't know how I just missed that. I have no idea how I just missed that. But yeah, we do have a Belmore. We have 2 Belmores then. Well, 1 Belmore. Moonsgrey, we have the Greenstars. Lord Oscar of Moonsgrey, who looks in a bit of a state, doesn't he? Poor sod. Does he still have the sword? Yeah, he still has the Stranger. Perfect. Nothing really to write home about him. How are the Green Stars doing? They've never been a family to have many members, but they've got probably more living members than they've ever had, to be honest. Yeah, so he's okay. His son, John Greenstar, is a poor fighter. Hair lip, so that seems to be inherited in the Green Star family. Damn, the Blue Stars and the Green Stars are getting a lot of bad traits inherited by their children. But he did have a brother, Sir Andahar Greenstar, and he's got several children. 2 daughters, 2 sons. Are these any good? Not really. Nothing to write home about. 1 week, so nothing interesting there at all, to be honest. Crow's Baron, we have House Steelheart with Lord Daney Steelheart, who's the a non-dwarf. The last 2 Steelhearts were dwarfs, if I remember rightly. Damon fell for a witch. Nice, Albert. I do quite like that, actually, for House High Star. Honour as high as the stars. It blends in very nicely with the Aaron words as well, doesn't it? As it uses several of the same words. I do quite like that. I really like that, actually. That's also a good point, Rowan. Yeah, we'll have 2 safe places to cross the river. You could also shut river run off so that you can't get to our lands. Law-wise, you wouldn't be able to get to our lands that way. Yes, if you see, look, you do have 3 rivers touching each other. So you could shut off these 2 so that the only way to properly cross into Andalia would be through Harroway's town. We could shut off everything to the south. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, Steelheart is a cool house now. I love the sigil as well. That was made by Jorm well, a lot of you who are in the Discord will know Jorman. It was made by him way, way, way back in the day. The original house founder, Oswin Steelheart, was an interesting character. He was one of Elena Shycross's many, many lovers. We've got Owen Steelheart, the heir to that house. He's pretty good, actually. He is a squire. Can we get you a better guardian? Let's have a look. A Zion guardian. Can we get you someone with a bit... Joa Rack. He'd be good, actually. Where are you, Joa? Let's send you to Joa Rack. Why not? And then we've got Harry and Steelheart. Nothing too special about you. And Aya Steelheart, who's decent learning, but nothing too special. Scorch Vale, we have Lady Kalain Maiden. Nothing special about her. And we have Piney Maiden as well. And then we have Sir Ragnar Maiden, who... Why are you not at the wall? I sent you to the wall. Why are you no longer at the wall? You bastard. Okay, so that's what happens, I suppose, when you send a wildling to the wall. He has, I think Albert did say that might happen, so you was right, Albert. Ragnar Maiden, who was sent to the wall, has deserted and joined the wildlings beyond the wall, even though he's never met any wildlings. He was born below the wall. Right, what else do we have? Coldwater Burn. We have the Coldwaters, but we've already looked over this guide. Nothing too special. They've got a pretty decent High Lordship, and they are going to inherit the Cape of Eagles and Gravesome as well, which is annoying. On the Pebble, we have the Rosbys of Lennox's line, Enger's father, which is interesting. Who's he married to? Skybreaker, no idea who you are. Cool name, crap sigil. Okay, so there's several Rosbys. Bath Rosbet, Brandon Rosby, and Marlon Rosby. None of them very interesting. Smith's Forge, we have House Anvil, which was made by one of you guys. I can't remember who made the anvils, but yeah, he's doing pretty well. The anvils nearly went extinct. He's the only older anvil, so all of his kids are all the male anvils. We've got Marlon Anvil, pretty decent. Morgan Anvil and Clay Anvil, nice name. And Beer Anvil as well, who is weak. There's a lot of people with the weak trait hanging around, it would seem. In Midlaw Point, we have House Parran of the Westlands, who are Vale men and landed here, which is strange, but yep. How's this house doing? He was pretty decent, if I remember. He's got his daughter, Fiona Parran, who is attractive, and his son, Osgood Parran, who has a hair lip. There seems to be a lot of people with hair lips around. In Sunrise Keep, we have House Brightstone. If I remember rightly, there's literally nothing interesting about these at all. No, there's loads of hair lips again, and that's about it. In the Dragon's Den, we have Lord Damien the Lawgiver, awesome name. Have House Shycross, who's a very decent character, really good stewardship, just like a lot of the Shycrosses. Obviously, the father of Sir Donico, who we've already looked at, who we looked at his son Damien, who's got another Damien. There's so many Damien Shycrosses. There's more Damien Shycrosses than Enger Sevenstars. We have Belados Shycross as well. Nothing too amazing about him. And then Lady Japhia, who we've already looked at, who is the mother of that Tilly Templeton. I think that's about it for the main Shycross line. But if we go back to Sir Donico, he did have a sibling, Selena Shycross, who is also in the Dragon's Den. For some reason, she has Stormbreaker, the Valyrian Steel Sword. We need to get that back to Donico because it'd be awesome for him to have that. And then there'd be... well, he's a great fighter, isn't he? So he should have it. She has a son, Sir Borico Shycross, who's nothing too impressive. And he has a daughter, Tessera Shycross, who is strong. So she's probably one worth looking out for. So can we assign a guardian? Could we actually make Donico Shycross her guardian? Because he is in our... oh, pardon me. He is in our court. So he'd be a good guardian to bring her to the capital. Where are you, Donico Shycross? I know you're here somewhere. Where is Donico Shycross? He's definitely in Sevenport. Unless we can't have him as a guardian for whatever reason. No. Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is. There we go. Send. Perfect. So that's all of them. Snakewood, we have House Viprin. Nothing to House Karen. We don't have much really with the Viprins, if I remember right. We've got Sir Cry. Yes, the Viprins have nearly died out of Snakewood, if I remember. Yeah, Lingrave. This is the family that Benfrey Lancer was married into. But yeah, I'm going to get rid of that house name and that. I don't really want them there. Heartsholme, we have House Corbray. Dainey's the Wise of the Fingers, who's a very impressive character. He's also married to Mage Stark, but she's not a Stark, she's a bastard. She is one of Leanna's bastard sisters. They have a daughter named Quirine Corbray. Not very impressive, to be honest, for a 4-year-old. And Selene Corbray, 2 twins. Neither of them very impressive. Considering how impressive their father is, you thought they'd have been better. That's pretty much it for the Corbray line, other than Lister Corbray, who's the Lord of Dartmoor. Breakstone, we have House Hunter, with lots of daughters. Apparently he's a homosexual as well, which is interesting. He's got a lot of kids, though, for a homosexual. Just have 3 daughters. Fiona, who's married to Mossborough. So, yeah, not a lot really there. Longbow Hall, we have the other House Hunter, who also has a lot of kids, so there's a lot of hunters running around. Sir Raymore Hunter, nothing really interesting about him. Sir Ellis Hunter, nothing really interesting about him. Elbert Stone, okay, then we've got bastards, okay. Old Anchor, we have House Clifton. He's not overly impressive. His son, Sir Alan, not too bad. Some nice traits, but not overall good skill-wise. Rickard Clifton, Gilwood Clifton, and Kyle Gifton. No, nothing really that good there. Hardvale, we have a house that we do need to change still. So, you're more than welcome to come up with things. We will look at religions and stuff soon. Wow, that's right, actually. We have been streaming for nearly 2 hours. That has flew by. How has that gone so quick? We need to fly through these houses then so we can cover other stuff. How in Iron Oaks we have House Wainwood. He likes us more now. I know at one point he didn't like us very much because we revoked some titles, but he seems to have a better opinion now. He's a master seducer. Interesting. I think the Wainwood... I know why you don't like us. Your sister was married to Titus, wasn't she, if I remember correctly? Yes, she was. What's your son like? Carl Wainwood, who's our nephew. And you're also married to one of our... Oh, no, an Orson. I thought you was married to one of our sisters. I'm sure there was a Wainwood married. I don't know. Runestone, we have House Royce. Lord Roland the Gallant of Runestone. Nothing really impressive about him, though, really, is there, to be honest. I know he's married to one of our bastard sisters as well, Lady Eleanor. There's so many bastards of Edgar II hanging around. What else do we have? We have Coraine Royce. Ugler, nothing impressive about you. Pera Royce, nothing impressive about you. And Hugh Royce. Nothing impressive about you. So the Royces aren't overly impressive, although they are impressive in the treasury with the Valyrian steel sword and the Royce bronze armor. So we need a Royce character to be able to match that. Grey Glen, we have House Tollett. Nothing impressive here, if I can remember correctly. The Lady of Greenstar. You're betrothed to Marlon Anvil. Sir Alan Tollett. Nothing impressive. Yeah, so the Tolletts aren't very interesting. And in Ghoultown, we have the Graftons, of course. Lord Willem Grafton, with his amazing intrigue, still going strong. He was a friend of Edgar II, if I remember. He's also an advisor. Has a 16-year-old son, Sir Vardis Grafton. Oh, God, yeah, I did miss over the Racks of Newkeep, didn't I? How the hell did I skip over them? Sorry, we will go back. Uno's back with House Unar. Yep, so that's Ghoultown. Grey Glen, yeah, we did Grey Glen. So let's skip back up to Newkeep, where we have Lord Horace Rack with his 22 diplomacy. He's still going pretty strong. He was the son of Samwile, who was Edgar II's best friend. He wants to become exalted amongst men. He's a gruff diplomat, fashionable, trained fighter, homosexual, knight, dragon dreams, socializer, rude, honest, patient, and lustful. Very good diplomacy. So annoying that we can't change this sigil to match with the purple colour to have that Shy Cross and Rack colour. We have Jelona Rack, who is a genius. Wow, 14 stewardship. She's not the heir though, is she? No, who? Oh no, maybe she is the heir. The others are bastards by the looks of it. Who was he? Was married to one of our bastard sisters, I think, wasn't he? Yes, Lady Lyanna Snow. He's only had one child with her, then he's had 2 bastards. Alex Stone, your mother's some randomer. And then Melaine Stone, who is your mother. Rhea Goranis, so another randomer. Okay, so that's actually the heir to the lordship of Newkeep with her genius trait. She's already important. Right, I want to assign her a guardian, but then I also want to assign her a betrothal. Let's think. Let's arrange a betrothal for her instead, just in case the stupid AI decides not to. We could marry her to Vayan Rack, because technically he is a Rack. Did we set him a marriage up? Didn't we set him a marriage up, though? I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did already arrange a marriage with him, but I can't remember who it was to. This may be a better marriage for him, though. A Rack to a Rack, to keep both Rack lines going. Do you know what? I can't remember. Can you guys remember who I arranged to marry Vayan Rack to at the beginning? I've forgotten already. I can't remember who I arranged to marry him to. Can we have a look by clicking on him this way? Apparently no one. I thought we did. Do you know what? This is a decent match and it keeps both Rack lines going pretty well. Oh, he doesn't want to accept on an aggression pact. So we will arrange a betrothal between Jelona Rack and Vayan Rack. There we go. I think that's a good option too. Do you know what, Uno? Go on then. We'll have a house Uno. We'll put them in the... Do we want them in the Vale? Or do we want them in the Riverlands? Vale or Riverlands Uno? You tell me which one you want and we'll put them there. It doesn't feel right not having the house Uno, I suppose. We've got them in every other series. Why not add them to this series as well? That's all of Andalia looked over now, though. So we will look at some other things. We'll only look at key things, though, because I've realised that we've been going for quite some time and I'm getting a bit of a sore throat. We have High King Aga of the Iron Islands, which are getting more and more impressive. Only field 20,000 men, though. We're going to have a look at that ship again just because it's hilarious. Cunt. Brilliant. We have the Westerlands, where I did notice that the King of the Westlands died. And we have High King Willard, his son, instead now, who is still very impressive. He can still field 100,000 men. It's slightly less men than, obviously, the original King could have, but it's still a very, very impressive and dangerous amount. I think the Stormlander King is also a child, 14, so he's almost of age. Nothing overly... Wow, he can only field 10,000 men. So the Stormland Kingdom doesn't look like it's going to last very long. And then in Dawn, I'm pretty sure we have, yep, House Ironwood, who own most of Dawn. For some reason, Brimstone... they're currently... Oh my god, the Jogus Nye are back. Okay, so Lord Colton is attacking King Belgrave of Dawn in Lord Elster's claim on Skyreach. Who currently has Skyreach? The Fowlers. Okay. Interesting. Thanks for joining us, Albert. I really appreciate it. I'm probably going to wind down the stream soon anyway. So I basically want to see, is there anything you guys want to see before we do wind the stream down? Yeah, I've been convinced, Uno. Riverlands. Okay. So it was Marlet Bay, I believe, where House Unar's going to go. So while I do this, guys, if you can think of... Actually, I just need to have a look at something, because Red Wolf is also a Red Wolf. Unar's on black, though, isn't it? We won't use the same sort of wolf. We'll have a red wolf on back. Maybe in lore there's a lot of wolves around this area. Who knows? But yeah, is there anything you guys would like to see before we wind down the stream? I think there was a request for the religions, so we will look at that. I'm just going to look for the wolf quickly. So we'll look over religions, we'll look over cultures and opinions and trade and that sort of thing. See how all that stuff's going all over Westeros. I'm hoping when CK3 does come out to hopefully have a episode of whatever series I decide to do. I'm still undecided. There's a few that I'm thinking of doing, but I'm hoping to have my first episode up on the day of release. I really hope to anyway. I want to try and get it going straight away. I'm thinking of doing a series in both ages, one in 1066 and then one in the earlier start date as well, but I'm still undecided on what to do. I'll probably decide on the day when I get into the game. Right, the wolves are around. Here somewhere. I don't want to skip by accident. Here's the foxes, the wolves after the dogs, I believe. You want to look at Essos? Yeah, we can have a little look at Essos. Let's go for... I like the walking wolf. I think that looks the nicest. And it's a red wolf on black normally, isn't it? So let's have a look how that looks. Do you know what? I'm just going to try something, Uno, see what it looks like. What does a black wolf on red look like? I think that was the colours of House Dreadwolf, though, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was. So, yeah, we'll go for the red wolf on black. What about... Yeah, there we go. Oh, and I nearly forgot to change the name. There we go, House Unar. There we go, House Unar is now in, like every other series. And the Lord's not too bad either, which is good. And he's got children, all daughters. But hopefully he's got some male line in there somewhere. Right, so... the Starks. Yes, let's look at the Starks then quickly before we look at cultures. We have Queen Verena of the North, who is married to King Harlan of the North, so it's Benfrey's brother. I don't know how well the family... Okay, apparently there's 15 living members, so... But that will also, I think, include the Greystark line. So, she's got a daughter that's dead. Then there's Aya, princess, who's married to a Mud. There's Arthur, a princess, who's also married to House Sevenstar, which is interesting. Sybil, obviously the Sevenstar line. Winfred, who is of the Red Wolves. Felena of House Maiden. Malador. So we've got Edric Stark, heir to the Lordship of King's House. And then we get to the Greystark line. Then Rosbys. Interesting. So the Starks, there's not... And then their Mud lines as well. There's not much in the way of Starks around at present. There's hardly any Starks at all. The Stark line's in pretty bad shape, actually. Let's have a look at the Kingdom of the North. So you've got Prince Edwin of Sevens. Okay, so the heir, the next direct heir, isn't even a Stark, which is insane. That's worrying. So the Starks could die out. That would be a shame. That would be a shame if the Starks were to die out. Right, let's have a look at religions. So let's have a look at diplomatic relations first. Most people in Andalia are very keen of us. The Blackwoods hate us, of course, because we're invading them. Religions, Faith of the Seven, and then we've got the old gods in the older lands. Would be interesting to see if some of these convert back to old gods now that the Greystarks are in control of them. All of the neck is still old gods, of course, and then most of the south is now Faith of the Seven. Most of the Westerlands, still old gods, but the Lannisters do seem to be spreading it around Casterly Rock now. The Blackmonts are managing to hold on to the old gods up there, and some of the Stormlands are still managing to hold on to the old gods as well, here and there, which is interesting. And then obviously the drowned gods. And then the north is all still old gods, of course. Hello, Lucian. You've arrived very late, but we're glad to have you. Courtiers. We have Andal Northmen, Cranagmen, Northmen. The Andal Northmen seems to be spreading a little bit more now. Obviously the Hill Clansmen, Valemen, and Rivermen. But we also do have some Thirstmen still. So it would seem that the families of Willowwood, House Seymour, still Thirstmen, which is interesting. Economy. The economy is booming in Sevenport. Oh, wow. Okay, so the Bullseye's been hit bad by the economy. But I'm sure that will recover because the Bullseye does have a good economy normally. It's probably just because Lord Hooton fought on the wrong side of the war. Yeah, the Erie's pretty good. Willowwood is obviously struggling at the minute. As we can see, it's a potential trade post. So we will have a trade post in those lands soon, hopefully, which is good. Have one in Gould. We have a trade post in Ghoultown. We have one in the Era. We also have one in Seaguard. Nice. Once we take this land, we'll have a trade post in the Blue Fork. I'm pretty sure we did have a trade post in... Unless it's because we already have... No, we definitely had one in Sevenport, so I don't know where that's gone. We don't need to look over the High Lordship. Revolt risks? Have we got any risks of revolt anywhere in Andalia? In Wickerden, maybe. And in Seaguard. Interesting. Dynasties, we don't really, well, read. Sevenstar, Stark, Greyjoy, Lannister, Ironwood, Colton, Durrandon, Grand. Yeah, nothing. It's pretty much what we expect. I don't know why there's an Ironwood here. That makes no sense whatsoever. Opinions, I think pretty much everyone has a good opinion of Lyanna, apart from the Reeds, the people that we obviously destroyed that High Lordship, so they're going to hate us. Leopold's land, yep, that makes sense. Trade zones, let's have a look at our trade. Wow, we've got a lot of trade zones now. So we've got the Tyroshi trade zone in Greyhold, we've got a Pentoshi trade zone in and around the Bullseye. Tall Trees Town. Where's Tall Trees Town? We've got a Mere and mainly a Lease trade zone in and around Sevenport, as well as the Firehand land. So that seems to have spread massively. The Lyseni have a lot of trade in and around Sevenport. That Tyroshi one has gone up the King's Road. Well, not the King's Road, because there is no King's Road. Got a lot of Lysene trade routes as well in the Vale, as long as Mere and Pentosh as well. So that's interesting. Governments, I don't think we really need to look at that. Obviously, it's feudal. Hopefully, there's no epidemics at present in Westeros. No, there isn't. There's a couple going on over in Valyria. Sevenstar family tree. Yeah, we can have a quick look at that. Which is absolutely massive now. Let's open up all the branches. All the branches of the family tree so we can see it in all its glory. Not that we can get it all on the screen at the same time. Thanks to Enger II, he made sure that we couldn't get it on the screen at the same time. Firehands there. Lionel's line. With Roman, Roman's still alive on the wall. And then Owen's line. Is any of Owen's line still alive? Yeah, they're living through the Royces. And the Greystark. Ah, yes, Maynard Greystark, of course, is from Owen's line. Interesting. Redguard. Okay, so Owen's line lives through the Racks, the Royces, and the Greystarks. And the the Corbury line's all dead from him. There is so many Sevenstars. They've got the distant cousins with Sir Roman's son Ambrose, who is the king, and his brother Benjicott. We've got loads through the Bloom line. Firehand. Loads of random ones, of course, from all of the bastards. Pardon me. We have 18 living members out of a total of 38. So there's 38 members of House Sevenstar. This will put it into perspective a bit. And Enger II had 20 children. So over half were just of Enger's second. Over half of the Sevenstar entire family tree came from Enger's ballback. Interesting. Married to the Hootons, the Royces, the Boltons, the Great. Yeah, so the main line of House Sevenstar is... Oh no, who have we got here? We've missed one there. Waynwood. Yes, I knew that one of the Bastard sisters married a Waynwood when I was saying it earlier. So where is the main... Where is Lyanna? Here. So, considering how many people are on that family tree, though, there's not many full-blooded members of House Sevenstar. We've got 1, 2, 3 with Lyanna. And then we've got Ambrose, which makes 4. There are children anyway. And Benjicott makes 5. Roman technically is still alive, even though a member of the Night's Watch. So there's only 6 members of House Sevenstar. Full-blooded members of House Sevenstar still alive. Which is worrying, but hopefully Lyanna can heal that a little bit. Tall Trees is Summer Island. Ah, yes, it is. Of course it is. Thank you, Bray, there. Interesting. So we actually have a trade port with the Summer Island. And was that in... That was... If I remember rightly... Where was it? Yes, here. In the Warriors... What? Okay, well that makes sense lore-wise. Because we have had a couple of Summer Islanders in and around that area. So maybe lore-wise, at least that will give us a reason now to explain why Joa the Rat the First found a Summer Islander bride. Maybe it was from the traders in the Warriors' Watch here. So at least we've got something to try and explain that away now, which is good. People wanted to see Essos, didn't they? So we can have a little look and see how Essos is doing. It's probably a complete and utter mess. We've got Valyria, which has took over all of Giscar, which is awesome. I do really need to rename that. Yeah, I do need to rename the Wolf's Den. I've just never come up with a name for the Sevenport Castle. So I just left it as that. So yeah, Valyria has all of Giscard, all of Southern Valyria. It also does own Pentos and Mir and Tyrosh and Lys, etc. But they are slightly independent as or anything. But it is owned by Valyria, as we can see. We do have some of Andalos still alive, I think. What the hell? We have House Swan, Lord Hoster of Mother's Valley of House Swan. Interesting. That's a ruin. Seven's River's still going. We do have... Oh, of House Sevenstars. Okay. So that's the House Sevenstars of... is it Argus Sevenstar who came over to Theon? And then we have another... So there's a couple of Andals still arriving here. But Valyria has taken over some of this now, which is going to make it very awkward for when we try and take it back. We could start colonising some of this northern land for when we want to start our crusade of Andalos. Because this is all ruined, so we could take all this for ourselves and build them up. Oh, and Valyria also has Lorath now as well. They've conquered that. Okay, oh, and they've also conquered... is it Qohor? This is Qohor, isn't it? Or is that... No, that's Qohor. That's Norvos, isn't it? Got mixed up. So Valyria has taken over most of this. Yeah, they've took that. So Valyria has taken everything. Have they taken the Sarnor, or are they still independent? Asaria. Okay, so Valyria's taken this. Wow. Who's your liege? Okay, so the tall men are still independent. And then we've got the Dothraki. So Valyria literally has everything west of Sarnor in the north, and then everything out here. So Valyria is insanely strong. That's very worrying. I hope they don't start looking westward. What about Karth? Are they still independent? Yes, Karth is still independent. That's good. And then obviously I have turned off the Far East to make sure that our save file can survive a little bit longer. So this has all been completely turned off. Yeah, I am a little bit worried about that, Alexander. That's what I was just thinking. Considering they've took most of East worth taking other than Karth, I'm worried they might come looking west. They've also took some land in Sephorios as well, which is worrying. Are the Vakars still in charge of Valyria? Because I know at one point the Vakars were in charge. Yes, House Vakar. That's awesome. Because all I gave them was Dragonstone. And they have actually managed to take all of Valyria. What happened to Doom? Is Doom dead now? The Breaker of Port of Ibion. Damien Vakar. Have they took Ibn then? Is Ibn part of Valyria as well? Oh, it probably would have been when I didn't... I turned off the Far East though, so it probably would have been before that. Okay, so Valyria is terrifying. That is terrifying. I think I checked culture, John, but I can check it again, but I'm pretty sure that I did check it. Because we checked, yeah, we've got Andal Northmen, the Valemen, the Crannogmen, Rivermen, a couple of Thirstmen still in the Riverlands, in the Willowwood lands, as well as in Maidens Pool, as well as in the Clawman lands. And then all of the Westerlands is still Thirstman. A lot of the Reach as well here and there. But they are starting to change to Westermen now as the Andal stuff spreads over there. Oh, I don't think I mentioned it, did I? Make sure you check the community tab on the channel, guys. Or if you're in the Discord, make sure you check on the Discord. It's only a small thank you, but I want to say thank you for everyone who helped me reach 2,000 subscribers, which we did do last week. So I am going to be giving away one copy of Crusader Kings free to one lucky winner. So to enter that, all you've got to do is go on the community page and there's a link where you can just follow the link and enter, or you can do it through the Discord. It's free to enter, and yeah, you've got a chance of winning a copy of CK3, so make sure that you enter, and good luck. I completely forgot to mention that, I think, in the stream. Yeah, that's a good point, Brady. I was just thinking that I thought that Ibn would still be a part of the game. I thought it was meant to stop at the Bone Mountains, but Ashai is still here, which is interesting, yet Ibn isn't. I thought Ibn would survive over Ashai, but who knows? Strange. I may have to turn off even more of it as we move forward and the save file gets even bigger, but I don't think it really matters. I think anything probably past Valyria doesn't matter. Sarnor doesn't matter to us. I think as long as we've got the free cities and Andalos, we'll be okay. But I think we've covered a lot of stuff, and I've just realised I've been streaming for a long time, so I am going to wrap things up here, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed. If there's any questions that I haven't been answering you want to know, just leave it in the comments or ask me in the Discord in the Knights of Andalia chat, and we can sort it out there. I hope you have enjoyed this stream and enjoyed the overview and seen all and learned new things as we went through it. But yeah, we'll end things here. Thank you all so much. And hopefully I'll see you all very soon on the channel for whatever videos next, which I think will probably be CK3. So I hope you're all looking forward to that.